a week, 3 fights in a day still wouldn't be too much.
At the end of the day, the money, the power, and the muscle are all about making his place at Ross, setting his reputation so he could do time on his own terms. Before punishment,
Junior Money. Really?
Well, yeah, there they go hitting.
Y'all fighting? Really? Yeah, a nigga heard you. Wasn't no oh, it's an accident now? So if I come in there and tear that ass up, that's an accident? Huh? If I come in there and give y'all both a whooping, was it on an accident? It ain't gonna be on no accident. I'm talking about an accident. You know? Wow. That boy crazy. That nigga said an accident. Wow. Dang, I never heard him say that one, right?
Oh, yeah, you have.
Wow. He said an accident.
I had no blood on me, no scars, no nothing. So they told you that your name had come up. Yeah, after that, yeah, they told me my name came up.
There were no witnesses of Jews fighting. He's a self-described troublemaker and thief.
Because they ain't gonna tell.
The officer has named you in the conduct
They ain't gonna tell.
of the participants. You will have to know RIB. 20 witnesses. Standing for. What do you expect Carr to testify to?
That nigga got his head hurt, or else that nigga can start barking.
Carr table. Whenever they was upstairs fighting, I don't think Carr table until they told us to lock down. All right, young man.
What is San Fernando at?
There's enough suspicion for a trial.
What?
And
I
his
just
was
wanna
later
see.
this week.
What? You ain't even go to mine.
Is in of itself.
I paid for it. I gave you $100.
$100
What you think it was? You
for $100 for a $250 ounce. That's crazy.
Somebody gets extorted.
In a facility of over 2,000 convicted felons,
That was
there are
too
bound to
big.
be rule breakers. And when they get caught, they come to segregation, the jail or the prison. Inmates call it the hole, where they await trial to serve out their sentences for anything from fighting to disrespecting officers. This is where time slows to a crawl.
I'm in prison for a case I did, but I'm in the hole for something I ain't even got.
That's terrible. You in prison for something.
The better part of 23 hours a day are spent locked down in a cell. Inmates get 1 hour a day for exercise, either indoors or outside in cages. Any movement requires an officer and a set of handcuffs. How long an inmate stays is determined by the Rules Infraction Board, or RIB, which serves as both judge and jury.
Sir, on the above date and time, ICO Montgomery was conducting a cell search in 4B, cell 211, when I found an 8-inch shank hidden beneath the bottom dresser drawer.
When I didn't move here, he told me he.
So I think I need to let it come
They hear the
up.
charges, determine guilt,
Looking
and
like
choose a punishment.
this.
You pled not guilty,
Closer
and
this
found
way.
guilty. A pound of bleeds, a homemade weapon was found in your cell.
Right
Found
now,
in your
it's
host, 15
far
days
back.
disciplinary control, and a third time served.
It isn't a science,
yeah,
but it's the
yeah.
next best thing to a proper trial.
How you doing, young man? Standing right there?
On deck for today's board are Frisco Mosley and Juice Reynolds, the two accused of attacking and robbing Donald Smith. First up is Mosley, the man seen fighting with Smith on the tier.
So what was this entire incident over?
I just told you, dude just came right on top range, like, and threw a punch at me. I'm like,
So why would he come out, just run up on you and swing on
he
you
was
like that?
moving. Did you hit him? I mean, apparently.
The panel found you guilty of this. Based on your self-admission of swinging back on inmate Smith after he swung on you, the panel found you guilty of the Rule 19 violation.
It's a clear verdict. 10 days of segregation for fighting. But Juice is a bit more complicated. He's here on a tip, not on solid evidence.
How do you wish to plead to this Rule 19 violation?
Not this.
That's right.
Downstairs,
I was at the court table playing. Next thing I know, I see the inmate Smith chasing the other chasing me in the top range. They start fighting in the top range. Lock it down.
Hey,
You ain't see that at this time. She was in one ship.
When the COs broke the whole, when they told everybody to start locking it down, that's when everybody split from the table. You know what I'm saying? People start making their food.
You stayed and you was down and setting the card table.
Yeah, it was when it happened. Then when the COs told everybody break up, lock it down, that's when I went to the cell to get the bowls. Then right after that, I went to go lock down. I locked it straight down.
His alibi seems unclear to the court.
Is there anything else you wish to add?
But just like in a real trial,
Hey guys, I just
there is no guilt. So beating a charge at RIB is a rare thing across. And today, Juice caught a lucky break.
a big break.
I believed it. I thought it was going to be worse than what it really was, though, because it was killing dudes.
You gonna have that Robin mentality forever.
Dude just had some exclusive joints. I had to have them.
See?
You know what I'm saying? They represent nothing to me personally, just money. Ching ching, when I see them, the dollar signs, you know.
Ching ching.
A successful hit by Juice.
Yeah, nigga been robbing since he was 16 years old. That's all he know. Didn't have a daddy. You kind
Shut the door like, listen, I'm going to ask you one time, where the shoes at? He tried to play dumb, so I got to kick him in his face. Stomp him out. I guess he regained composure or whatever. So now, you had to punish him again. Stomp him out again, kicking him in his face, blah, blah, blah.
for a
He
shoe.
ran out chasing us. I thought he had a knife. So that's why I'm saying, I got to run on the top range. That's
Over
why
his shoe,
they don't see me
man.
because I didn't get caught.
Over his
It was the
shoe.
prison version of a perfect crime. Now he has other business to attend to, gathering the troops and tracking down the stolen sneakers. He's hoping to move the shoes, but first he has to find them.
Who got him?
In prison, a new pair of Nike Jordans can sell for over $200. Nobody on his crew seems to know where they
Dale said Frisco can get a part of it. You feel it? He got it. I guess somebody took it from dead. Unless it was inside. You feel me?
While he was beating his case in the hole, he may have lost the spoils. It seems that even in prison, there's no honor among thieves.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to see where my product's at.
Hey, I'm about to get ordered right now. I just got out. All right, I'm about to get all everything straight today, brother.
That's why I ain't about to unpack nothing. For real. You know what I'm saying?
He keeps smiling through the whole shit,
I'm going
man.
back to the house for another fight. I'm going all out for mine.
Look at it.
No, yours is kind of like the shotgun at Fortnite.
We see it.
It is. It's the pump shotgun.
The pump.
For the last 2
And
months,
that's
Chaz has been trying to build a kind of future.
I'm going all left for mine. Yeah, right now, I want that TV going off.
But today,
I don't know when to stop. Bitch, everybody else in the party knocked out.
Yes, indeed.
Shit, not them.
Get away from me, Junior. I don't know what bad things you do. Would you be quiet? Hey, I didn't shoot you. Yes, you did.
You gotta pay restitution.
That was not by
The letter is
accident.
important
No.
for Chaz to pay restitution to the victim who's convicted of the shooting twice. And the debt is $20,000. Once it goes through, almost anything on his account from friends, family, or his $12 a month salary will go toward repayment. With no more money on his books, he can't run his store. In prison terms, Chaz is bankrupt.
Oh, wow.
Without money, there's no survival here. All of them did about nothing. No IG, no nothing.
Man, you better call home.
They taking everything I can get, whatever gets sent on there. So the money I got on there right now, they're taking.
Who is it? The people that you owe?
Yeah.
20,000 to
They didn't develop nothing.
and they take
This New York, man.
so if you going to work.
Take my money I ain't even did.
You ain't doing that stupid.
There's one place he can go for help,
Where she can sit there.
and that's Ronald Dudas, 1A's jailhouse lawyer.
So we got going on here.
What?
Okay, you do want to object to the withdrawal of this money from your account. You want to mark down due.
Dudas is not a real lawyer. He's here on multiple charges, including fraud and corruption.
I was finna say.
As a white-collar criminal at Ross, his prison hustle was offering legal advice to guys with nowhere else to turn.
Here's what we're going to do. What I did was,
Well,
I
you
got a
can't.
motion here for you because I don't know what they gave you there. But I did this one up before
Yeah.
for somebody. It's a motion to vacate payment of court costs, fines, restitution required. There's a 30% chance of the court saying, no, we're not going to give this to you. We may have to file 10 motions in the next 3 or 4 years, but it'll come to fruition at the end. So you don't want to have a whole lot of money until we answer this. I wouldn't have a whole lot coming in on your books.
I got a couple hundred on there right now.
You got a couple hundred on there now?
So I should just spend 100 at the store.
Absolutely. And then next time, spend another 100, get yourself all the hygiene stuff that you need, buy extra, and keep that and get this rectified. It'll work.
With Dudas helping him appeal the restitution, Chaz will try to clear his account.
This commissary might be my last one. Dude was telling me spend as much money as I can just in case they try to take my money. I mean, this could be my last time buying something that I'll eat.
What the hell?
There's a good chance he will spend the next 20 years broke. And for someone used to living the high life, that's a problem.
Damn, look at that.
You can't survive off of $9 a month. Just think
You
about
see all that shit he just read out that junk.
$9 a month. It's the same thing here. What you
Look
gonna
at
do
that.
for $9 a
Look
month?
on me. You gotta make Kool-Aid.
You gonna start robbing.
Macaroni and cheese stuff go in the microwave.
To be honest with you, I'm gonna get super violent. I don't have a choice. I'm gonna have to get super violent, super greedy. Grimy is what I call it. I'm gonna have to. They take my money. I mean, what else am I gonna have? I'm gonna have some money, like I told y'all earlier. I'm gonna have some money in my pocket. I'm gonna have some food in my pocket.
For Chaz, prison poverty is not an option. If he can't make his own money, maybe a new jailhouse robber at Ross.
I'm gonna have some. I'm gonna have some.
I guess it's the new respect of these young people and going on STEM and stuff. Yeah.
Donald Smith is rethinking his own strategy for doing time. Now out of the infirmary, he's just been dealt another blow.
What?
Based on the evidence, he received a 15-day sentence for fighting. A punishment made worse by the news that Juice got off scot-free.
Damn. Juice didn't get nothing. They didn't see him.
On the compound on the 12th. I know if I go back out there, it ain't gonna be right. No, because things I got in my mind, things I can do to these people, man, do that to me, I will never go home.
Smith knows that if he fights back, he could risk losing early release or get more charges. If he doesn't fight, he'll
See, what else can you do? Push-ups and that.
I don't have to fight.
You took some of my jaw.
I know when I see him, I will.
What you trying to do?
Alright, man.
Don't try to take nothing out of my jaw.
I don't want to go to another institution. That's what they could do.
Put that
Send
down.
me anywhere else.
You got a whole jar out of your greedy self.
He's asked for a transfer to another prison. The only way he feels he can survive Ross now is to leave.
This isn't an experience that's going to go away. You know, it'll be over one day, but it won't go away. If you want easy time, you can make your time easy. If you want a hard time, you can make it hard.
Segregation time is over for Donald
Hey,
Smith.
can you rub in my hand?
But true to his word, he's staying put.
You don't have no nails.
Hey, Smith, you going to the compound?
Come right here, look.
You go back to the compound?
I'm telling you where to go.
I don't want to go back on the compound. I don't want to deal with these people. Because I don't want to see them dudes that attack me and rob me. You know what I'm saying? Because I see these dudes, it ain't going to be nice.
It's so good because you know how you up in here, you know where the scalp at? Don't that feel good?
No,
That like some crawling on my head.
correct?
Yeah, there's something that crawling. Look in there.
Refuse to come out.
Oh, that was UFC.
I don't know. I mean, I just want to go back out to your compound.
I'm trying to watch the fight.
Something going on out there?
A lot. That's why I don't want to go back out to your compound. Transfer the institution.
I don't have any control as to whether you can get transferred or not.
His request for a transfer is in, but if it doesn't go through, his remaining prison years may be here in the hole.
They keep doing that stuff, man. What they doing, man? Rip people, jump people like that, man. Find people like that, man. And you get messed up, man. They ain't going slow back here, but like, you still study. I got my Spanish book. I'm studying on my Spanish. You know, so I'm back here. I'm gonna be back here for a while. I like to keep studying, you know, in my school.
Yeah, that is smart.
With all that has happened, Smith still looks
Yeah, finish that shit. They took, what, 10 years extra, but. That shit is mandatory.
It's transfer time at Ross Correctional Institution, when inmates board the buses once again to be reshuffled throughout the state. Some moves are expected, others are not. Troy Mary got word early this morning off to another prison. The surprise transfer.
You got soap to wash your clothes. I got a little box of games. Virtually that little box lasts him for about a month or two.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
There you
Heavy
go.
are the hands that can take it away. Heavy is the burden that comes with being a heavyweight champion of the world.
Oh, Little God, Latin Junior Dos Santos.
And heavy is the price for he who falls short.
Oh, this is the moment of the lifetime. Does it again.
Tonight, as the UFC returns to the Lone Star State, it's a Texas-sized confrontation to determine an interim heavyweight champion, featuring Houston's favorite son, the UFC's all-time knockout leader, ready to blow the roof off the Toyota Center with another bone-crushing finish.
It's going to be the new heavyweight champion of the UFC.
That's the bone
We'll
crusher?
see the Black Beast come out.
There it is. The Black Beast.
And an undefeated powerhouse on the verge of making history.
Look at this. Look for a head and arm show of the jiu-jitsu guy.
Oh, it is a champ! Cyril Gahn, by becoming France's first UFC champion.
My goal for this sport, put my name in the history of the UFC. Just want to be one of the best in this world.
But first, it's a welterweight collision of burgeoning contenders as the Maverick looks to make another statement by tapping into his force field yet again.
Oh, man, this is tight. There is a tapping.
I know what you're doing.
This time against a brawling human thrill ride with a jaw-dropping finishing rate.
Luke trying to close the show. Luke does it again.
Then, the bantamweight division is clearing the way for a legend's return. The longtime featherweight kingpin, who has solidified his spot as one of the most dominant champions in UFC history.
The king of Rio is back, Jose Aldo.
Clashes with the young Punisher, who could light up anyone daring enough to stand in his reign.
Wow, Cody's down, that's it. Angel Munoz and knocked out Cody Garbrandt.
There will be blood. The walls of Houston will be shaking. A new champion will be crowned. The Black Beast is ready to roar in front of his hometown crowd.
Yeah, let's go now. It's
Is
101.
chopping at
Let's
the
go.
bit,
Check that shit
ready
out.
to snatch
Come on.
UFC championship. From the sold-out Toyota Center in Houston, Texas, it's UFC 265, Lewis versus Gahn, and it starts right now.
Dateline, Houston, Texas. If our last chalk here in the prelims tonight are any indication, it is going to be awfully loud in this building tonight. We have definite Coleman Road signs in our headlining act as well as we get set to crown a UFC interim heavyweight champion. Live from Toyota Center here in Houston, Texas, USA. This is UFC 265, Lewis versus Gahn. Closed captioning for tonight's telecast is brought to you by Universal Pictures' Candyman. On August 27th, I dare you to say it. Candyman in theaters August 27th. You can also watch this live event in its entirety in Spanish as well. And with that, I'm Sean Annick. Thank you so much for being with us on UFC 265. 3 short months ago, we were inside these very walls crowning a UFC champion, and that is our reality here tonight. But this time around, this city's most popular fighter, Derek Lewis, affectionately known as the Black Beast, tonight will try to produce a historic championship moment for this city, while on the other side, the favorite, the phenom, Cyril Gahn, will try to break through and become the first UFC champion to hail from his native France. With that, thrilled to welcome in my broadcast partners, the future Hall of Famers. They are Dominic Cruz and Daniel Cormier. Heavyweight title fight doesn't get a whole lot bigger than that, Dom.
It definitely doesn't. When you're talking about Gahn, this is a man who can switch stance, move like a 155-pounder, mix in takedowns, mix in elbows, knees. He uses all 8 strikes. Awesome. And at the same time, he's undefeated. What are you going to do with this guy?
It's crazy when you have a heavyweight championship fight in one guy's hometown. It just adds to it. The crowd's been fantastic. The fights have been phenomenal. We had 5 straight finishes. And when the Black Beast is the guy in the main event, you know that is going to be something crazy.
All right, well, the last man to make the walk tonight will be the man that many of these fans came to see, Derek Lewis. You fought him, defended your title back in 2018. He thinks tonight he's ready to present his best version today.
And you know what? Derek Lewis has learned from that fight. When we fought back in the day, he has gotten better. This is a man that possesses power in every single aspect. There is nothing not powerful about Derek Lewis. The right hand, the kicks, now it's the timing, the takedown defense. Derek Lewis has improved tenfold since we fought, and that is why he's on the cusp tonight of winning a version of the UFC Heavyweight Championship.
And what gives Cyril Gahn an edge is his 10 kickboxing fights. I mean, he's got high-level kickboxers that he's faced. Look at what he did to these men. Rosenstrike, what he's done to guys like at the heavyweight division. The way that he's beaten them is unseen in this division. The way that he transitions and mixes the jiu-jitsu into it is something that a lot of guys don't have. He's very athletic. He's got heel hooks, arm triangles, rear naked chokes, guillotines. And more than anything, the elbows and the knees are very, very lethal because all heavyweights get in that clinch, and that's where he's most dangerous. And Cyril Gahn is so calm, cool, and collected that despite Derek Lewis's best efforts Thursday at the press and yesterday at the weigh-in, seemingly he has not occupied any headspace up there in the dome of one Cyril Gahn. All right, these white odds are brought to you by DraftKings. Play 3 UFC bets for $10,000. Use code UFC when you sign up. DraftKings, you can bet on. A lot of people have made a lot about this betting number. Cyril Gahn minus 350. Derek Lewis, a sizable underdog.
What y'all doing? Messing with the camera?
Championship main event. This main card is deep, folks. A lot to offer tonight. We can barely hear ourselves in this arena, by the way. But the co-main event, wicked, intriguing in the bantamweight division. Essentially, right on paper. And Jose Aldo, the king of Rio, returns against Pedro Munoz. Jose Aldo and Pedro Munoz, I am honored to be in this division with the things that these gentlemen have done in the sport. Jose Aldo's been around since the very beginning in the WC days. Pedro Munoz the same. This guy has a chip on his shoulder. He is ready to be champion, and he knows he believes it. Jose Aldo, many legendary knockouts and world title fights. And Pedro Munoz says, you know what? It's time to put a feather in my cap. I'm going to take Jose Aldo out. And Jose Aldo says, it's time for me to be champion in a new division. Who's going to get it done?
Jose and Munoz is going to be great. But we cannot forget about the welterweights. Michael Chiesa, 4-0 since going up a weight class, taking on Vicente Luque. These guys are both so talented. Chiesa up at 170 has been unbeatable. But Vicente Luque is a guy that possesses all the skills that seem to give Michael Chiesa problems. He has phenomenal striking. He has fantastic jiu-jitsu. He has good takedown defense. But in Michael Chiesa, he's a guy that doesn't overwhelm you. He doesn't look like he's going to take you over. But he is dominant, and he has been dominant at welterweight.
And you got to think the UFC undisputed welterweight champion Kamaru Usman just might be watching that featured bout closely here tonight. So glad you have chosen to join us this evening. Here now a look at what else is coming your way. The rest of the card is sponsored by Sweet Girl, starring Jason Momoa and Isabella Merced, coming soon to Netflix. So back in 2015, Tisha Torres beat Angela Hill on the scorecards in their first meeting, but a lot has changed for both parties since. For the Massachusetts-born Torres, she produced the first knockout of her career her last time out. Her confidence appears to be at an all-time high, entering this rematch with the also streaking Angela Overkill Hill. Now, certainly much has been made of her willingness to stay active, but she's also winning, and her skill set has never been stronger. Tonight, Hill is jonesing to get this one back in what will be her 18th UFC appearance. These locker room shots are brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. Song Yadong made his UFC debut when he was 19 years old, and he's gone unbeaten in 6 of his first 7 UFC starts thus far. Tonight, he will try to turn in a performance worthy of a return to the bantamweight rankings as he draws fellow divisional hopeful Casey Kennedy. Portland, Indiana native and former judo player brings that patented Midwest toughness and a well-rounded game to the octagon. And Kenny,
His armor primer. He got an armor primer. Money. Stay with armor primer. Good night, sugars.
Hey, Bubba.
Don't let that. See, Bill, what you gonna do with all the weenies you didn't cook?
Eat them tomorrow.
He look like tomorrow. I pray God wakes you up tomorrow.
What time?
Listen, I'm not gonna wait for y'all. My body tell me to get up. Shit, I'll get up. That's all I do. Revolve around y'all little stinky goats. Ungrateful creatures missing out on the whole world. Fucking with losers. Because that's what they are, losers. Don't put the power way up there, fucking loser.
has
has yet to be finished in his first 20 professional fights. The rules of the Octagon are presented by Manscaped. Head over to manscaped.com for their 20% off global summer sale. Don't miss out on 20% off your entire order and free shipping. 3 judges score the fight. The bout duration is 3 5-minute rounds, but for championship fights and all UFC main events, we go 5 5-minute rounds. A 10-point must-scoring system is in effect. The round winner gets 10 points, his or her opponent 9 or fewer, and scoring is based on effective striking and grappling, followed then by aggression, and finally Octagon control in that order. On the rules front, the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation has not adopted the new unified rules for this event, and we will not have the benefit of instant replay tonight. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in high definition by WatchGang.com. The Watch of the Month club that gives a Rolex away every Friday. All right, just about set to get you to live action. This fight odds brought to you by DraftKings. Play 3 UFC pools for $10,000. Use code UFC when you sign up. DraftKings, you can bet on it. That's what we in the business call a pick-up fight, folks. Minus 110 on both sides between Song and Kenny. Man, what an atmosphere. What a main card we've got here tonight. Great to have you with us on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. One of the top hopes to become China's second UFC champion, Song Yadong, has given fight fans myriad glimpses into his potential, and he expects to show off even more here against Casey Kenny. Well, the hottest division in the UFC shows no signs of cooling down anytime soon. And with matchups like this one between rising stars Song Yadong and Casey Kenny on tap, it's easy to see why bantamweight has become one of the most talent-rich weight classes in the sport.
我觉得我的技术，我的拳的爆发力要比所有人强。This is a huge opportunity. It's my first time kicking off a pay-per-view, first time on a pay-per-view, and what a better opponent than Song Yadong to throw down with.
Still only 23 years old, Song Yadong has been delivering impressive wins in the Octagon for a while now, over the likes of Alejandro Perez, Felipe Aranches, and Marlon Vera. And the most encouraging part of the whole equation when it comes to China's Song is that he might only just now be approaching his fighting prime.
今天晚上我要进入我的主题，我不想跟他 Casey Kenny 他们跟他比赛。
3 rounds with former 2-time champion Dominic Cruz reinforce Casey Kenny's belief that he belongs with the elite of the division. And tonight, he gets another chance to prove it when he tries to add a win over Song Yadong to a resume that already includes 5 wins on MMA's biggest stage.
I believe that I'm one of the most complete fighters on the roster, from head to toe, hands, feet, grappling, jiu-jitsu, the whole thing. That's what makes me a dangerous fighter.
Looking to make it 4 wins in his last 5 years. The Portland, Indiana native Casey Kenny making the walk for his 8th UFC appearance. To his words, Megan, a well-rounded skill set for the 9-time USA National Judo Champion Casey Kenny.
Yeah, he feels better everywhere this fight goes, but he actually loves this matchup. He told me he compared it to the fight with Nathaniel Wood. He fought Nathaniel back in October of 2020, a fight he won. He said, I think this is going to be a high-paced, back-and-forth battle. He loved when the UFC matched him up with Song Yadong. As for his last fight against Dominic Cruz, who was Octagon side with us, he told me, I learned a lot from that. I took a lot of lessons, but one of those was confidence in that I belong with the best in the division. So he's really carrying that confidence into this matchup. But he likes where he's at right now because he thinks he can compete more. This is only his second outing of 2021. He had 4 Octagon appearances in 2020. He's open to match or top that number this year.
Looking forward to watching this match with Casey Kenny because obviously I just faced him. I'll be coming back before the end of the year against a nice opponent coming up soon. But Song Yadong is somebody that's going to bring a great matchup and style against Casey Kenny. I think he's got a huge future, Casey Kenny, but he's got to get through Song Yadong. He's got a lot of power, good takedown. This is a mirror match as well. These guys both have power. They both have wrestling. They're both well-rounded. It's just a matter of who can control the octagon and the range better in this match.
When you're Casey Kenny and you get to fight a Dominic Cruz, even in a loss, you take a lot of lessons from that. So sometimes all the wins can be outvalued by that time spent in the octagon with a champion. I felt like Casey Kenny put himself in a great fight. And going into the next fight, Song Yadong or whoever else, he will have much more confidence because of that. He will also find confidence in his great skill set.
All right, so here's the credentialed Song Yadong, made his UFC debut in China back in 2017. Won by guillotine that night, 1 week shy of his 20th birthday. He was the youngest fighter on the roster, DC, at that point in time. Still only 23 years of age, rounding out his skill set under the watchful eye of Uriah Faber there in Sacramento, California. We shall see how it goes for Song Yadong tonight as he chases a 6th UFC win.
And Jay, you know what? If everything goes according to plan, we'll get to see everything. Because he said he has spent a lot of time working on his grappling and being more open to using it inside the octagon, not being so reliant on his striking. Look, you can have worse weapons to rely on than the power that Song Yadong possesses and the boxing that he possesses. But he wants to show his full skill set. And he thinks if he can do that against Casey Kinney, maybe he will find himself staring across the octagon from a guy like Dominic Cruz or Cody Garbrandt, one of the former champions in the division.
All right, tonight's fighter descriptions are brought to you by Universal Pictures Candyman on August 27th. I dare you to say it. Candyman in theaters August 27th.
Got to tell you, these fights at 135 pounds are the hardest fights for me to call because I'm involved in these matches. It's insane to watch. I mean, I'm hyped right here. This is a sick matchup. I mean, the way these two are going to go with martial arts, with the way that Song Yadong can stop takedowns, and the way that Casey Kinney pieces together his power combinations, these guys are going to wing it right now, and they're really going to be banging on each other's faces. I guarantee that.
And in a lot of respects, a matchmaker's dream with all of these close numbers on the betting lines tonight. All right, this tale of the tape is sponsored by Sweet Girl starring Jason Momoa and Isabella Merced, coming soon to Netflix. Song Yadong, as we mentioned, 23. Casey Kinney is 30. Yadong has an inch in height. No issue for either man making the weight limit. 1 inch reach advantage with the Indiana native Casey Kinney. Now to get this party started, right here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas, for UFC 265, Lewis versus Khan. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a big martial artist holding professional record, 16 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 136 pounds. Fighting out of Portland, Indiana, Casey Kinney! Now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding professional record, 16 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw, 1 no contest. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 135 and 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Heilongjiang, China, Song Yadong! When the action begins, our referee in charge, Dan Bergliata.
DC, you and I both run hot. Did it just get 10 degrees warmer in here or no?
I took my jacket off. It's so hot, man. It did get hot because the pay-per-view started also.
Uh-oh, I wonder what Derek Lewis is going to do when he gets hot.
Oh, my kid, take off his pants.
All right, you ready, sir? You ready, sir?
All right, grateful to have you with us tonight. This Fight Clock is sponsored by Sweet Girl starring Jason Momoa and Isabella Merced, coming soon to Netflix. Song Yadong in white, Casey Kinney in black. Song landed an early body kick. Houston faithful trying to get behind the American Casey Kinney early on.
And, you know, we're all filled with so much pride right now. The Olympics are going on. People going crazy. The moment an American steps there, they start cheering USA. A lot of great performances out there in Japan. The U.S. basketball team, Allison Felix, 11 medals now, most in USA track and field history.
Look at this guy, man. What else you got down there?
It's been fantastic watching these Olympic Games, John. And just the fights are at the right time. More excitement in my life.
In this particular matchup, these guys are going to stand in. They're going to have moments where they just trade, and that's what makes this fight so fun, because they don't have the real dodgy style. They counter after they get touched, and they counter with power. So somebody's getting knocked out of this fight.
I think both guys just landed power shots in that exchange.
And that's the thing about Casey Kinney, right? He'll be in your face, man. He wants to pressure you. He wants to land and stay going forward. And you know Song Yadong, because of some of the knockouts that he's had, is more than willing to stand and trade.
Well, P3, the official protein snack of UFC, is giving fans the chance to win a trip to the Octagon and more. Visit P3packapunchsweeps.com to learn more.
Let's go.
Nice read defensively there by Casey Kenny. 3 minutes to go in the round. Kick by Song Yadong.
Can't take many of those if you're Casey Kenny.
Got to be first, not laughing.
Yeah. And now that's what we talked about earlier, right? And as we go up the card, the skill level raises.
Yep.
So when you see that window open, Song Yadong, being the fighter that he is, will blast those body kicks.
Casey Kenny, former 2-division LFA champion at flyweight and bantamweight, and he landed a nice right counter there behind the ear of Song Yadong.
Kenny continues to switch stances, really making it difficult for Song Yadong to find his reads.
Both guys with visible body damage here 3 minutes in.
Song showing really good footwork, too. Moving well. He's not just standing in the pocket like he's done in some other fights. He's moving well. He's having Casey Kenny chasing.
At times he's been so boxing heavy, too, Don, where he's like trying to land the right hand. This time he's throwing kicks. He's moving off the angles.
He's doing a really good job pulling Casey Kenny into damage right now.
Left hand is there for Song Yadong.
Oh, Song Yadong looks sharp right now, man.
He's a little ahead right now, throwing heavier shots, and he's landing a little bit more. You got Casey Kenny just a little step behind trying to chase.
There he is. Now he's trying to play. Look at that. Now he's trying to play the game, right? He's trying to draw, like you said, pull him into him so he can let the right hand fly. When Casey gets closer, look at him, level change. Drop him. Nice. Oh, beautiful by Casey.
Yeah, that was a nice step over to get that top position.
Nice step over.
This is his favorite choke. He's so good at this front choke. Song's right on it, gets the hand control.
Right away, he attacked those hands, man.
But there's one thing about Alpha Male, though, is they got a lot of guillotiners, so he's seen a lot of people on his head.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely defending guillotine chokes in that way.
Yep. Casey Kenny probably have a tough time getting that guillotine, but he's got some height. That's his best weapon for sure in the submissions.
Casey's constantly going forward, constantly moving into Song Yadong. And it'll be on Song to try to maintain that pace of backing up the whole time over the course of 15 minutes. It gets increasingly difficult as the rounds go on.
Yeah, Casey keeps a good pace moving forward. He really doesn't take a lot of steps back. It's like a juggernaut style.
Late right hand for Song Yadong. Kenny now to the body. Competitive first round as expected. Tonight's quarter canvas brought to you by Body Armor, the official sports drink of the UFC. Grab one today at AM PM.
Breathe, okay? I need you to cut him off a little bit more, okay?
Slow down.
He's slowing down. Hey, in through your nose, out through your mouth.
Hey, do me a favor, settle down. Yep. You can hear the crowd, and we're getting a little wild. So this is the whole thing what Chris just said. We got to cut him off. He's running away. Yep. We got to take that step outside. Next, we got to beat him with your feet. Yep. You hear me?
Yes, sir. Yep. Cut him off. Keep circling to that right side, Kenny.
Right here, you see Song Yadong land a right hand. Little check left hook as Casey tries to enter. Hey, Dom said you got to be first, not laughing. And Song Yadong lands a beautiful body kick on Casey Kenny.
Well, do not miss the return of The Ultimate Fighter on ESPN Plus as a new host of fighters compete to make their UFC dream a reality. Sign up now at ESPNplus.com to watch. New episodes drop every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. All right, second round here, Kenny and Song. John Crouch, Chris Carriasso in the Casey Kenny corner believe that Song Yadong is starting to slow down a little bit. We shall see.
It's very difficult to just run away the whole time. Allow a guy to just constantly pressure into you. At some point, you got to stand your ground. And you would think that would be easier for a guy like Song Yadong who possesses that type of power at bantamweight.
Nice inside leg kick for Kenny, trailing on the significant strike numbers thus far. Tonight's social media posts are sponsored by Sweet Girl, starring Jason Momoa and Isabella Merced, coming soon to Netflix.
Nice body shots by Song there, and a counter right hook for Kenny.
Song Yadong has certainly invested in the body tonight, as has Casey Kenny. He's attempted more body shots, just not quite as accurately.
Watch your fingers, watch your fingers.
I mean, I don't know a lot of fights that we've seen Song back up this much, to be honest. He's always moving forward. And in this fight, they're so similar in that I really believe the one who keeps the forward pressure is probably who's going to end up getting the least time.
That's a credit to Casey Kenny. You know, Casey's constantly on the gas, right in his face the whole time. And not only is it his face, he's throwing stuff the whole time.
Well, Crypto.com offers the world's most popular crypto card. Spend with the Crypto.com Visa card and get up to 8% back.
At the same time, Song's up on the strikes, I think, by a small portion. He's landed a little bit more, but he is moving back.
Well, that's one thing Song is doing that Casey isn't right now. Is going to the body. So when he throws extended combinations, he'll finish with 2 shots down low opposed to head on.
Nice combination by Song there. He's throwing punches and bunches, and that's what's supporting him right now against Kenny. 1 or 2 at a time. Kenny can handle that. When you start piecing it together, it's hard to dodge.
Casey doesn't need to load up, though. He's loading up on the right hand, like that, right? He's trying to load up to hurt him, and he should just let everything go. Just like, these guys are fast. I haven't seen that speed before in my entire life. These guys are fast. Dom, that comes at you every single fight. Speed like that.
I don't gotta do a heavyweight power thing. My head going to the bleachers.
Yeah, that is a thing. We saw Alistair Overeem gets into the move.
Pretty good entry from Casey Kenny, unable to take Song Yadong down. Opened or closed, I should say, as a pick'em. Song now the betting favorite on the live number, under 2 now in the round.
And that's another thing you develop at Alphabet. Great takedown defense. Because those cats are trying to wrestle you down to the ground.
Song's also doing a really good job attacking the body with the kicks. Not just his hands, but the kicks too. It's a smart game plan because Casey Kenny does well when you attack his head with his counters.
This is when Casey should get going now. Song's not as bouncy. He's not moving as much. Casey needs to cut him off and let his hands go.
He's throwing it right at the right time to get Kenny to kind of step back, though. Right when he gets within range, Song throws. He's not just backing up the whole time. He's also countering at the right time. And I think that Kenny's following a little bit too much. He needs to head off instead of following.
Significant strike advantage for Song in rounds 1 and 2. His timing has been near perfect on his body strike execution. 15 of 15 unofficially.
But every time he kicks the body, Kenny tries to return with an inside low kick. I mean, that's the best you could do, right? Give him something back after you land.
Nice left hand there from Kenny.
Yep. Yadon unable to land the right hand. That left hand of Kenny got Song's attention.
Two good left hands there by Casey.
We got a nice kick from Song here, and you see Kenny eats that one. Good left hook from Song. We got some Kenny lands as well. Another right hook. Superman punch.
Power. The power will come, but you see the open. How do you see? Let the jab go.
So real loud fashion, you can pick him apart with that jab. Just be fast with the jab and get out the way.
Great job.
You got to throw it back right away, okay? Because you're letting him get off without countering back, okay? So get off on that, all right?
He's throwing really big, so he's throwing past himself.
Yeah.
If he can pull and then go back, we're going to have some openings there. That's all your feet, okay?
Yeah.
It's not your hands, it's your feet.
In through your nose, out through your mouth.
Hey, you're
Let's
doing
go.
a great job.
Beautiful
Casey.
round. Let's get it. Let's go. 5 minutes. 5 minutes, Casey.
P3, the official protein snack of UFC, is giving fans the chance to win a trip to the Octagon and more. Visit P3PackAPunchSweeps.com to learn more. All right, Dean Thomas with us all night. Your mic is hot, sir. What do you have?
Gentlemen, even though Casey is moving forward, your dog's getting him to punch just a little too soon, and that's why he's coming up short. Then that allows your dog to counter. I can't say your dog without.
No, that's what I was going to say.
I want to giggle every time I say your dog.
The whole time.
But he's countering beautifully because he's getting Kenny to punch a little too soon.
Thank you, Dean. The reason Kenny's
I literally was just thinking the same thing.
The reason Kenny's punching too soon is because he's chasing a little bit too, as Dean said. He's punching too soon, trying to force offense on Song, but he's got to get his feet under him just a little sooner.
Nice little check hook there by Song Yadong.
They're asking for a jab on his team side, and he's landing those jabs now. He's just sticking that jab out there. They believe he can fire that jab faster than Kenny.
There it is. Kenny with a nice little slap right hand.
Beautiful body kick from Kenny.
I think Casey might be starting too soon. Right now, when he's just not quite in range when he starts his combination. So by the time he ends it, Song's already moving away from him.
Yeah, Song's just doing a little bit of a better job sliding in and out of range and being in the right place to counter. And while Kenny's being very offensive and doing his job, like everybody said, he's just a little bit soon, just a touch too soon without getting his feet underneath him. So he's kind of reaching.
Yeah.
Never up old character since 1872. But I mean, the fight hasn't slowed down even an inch. These guys have kept a constant pace the whole fight.
One time I said Casey Kenny got tired in a fight on Fight Island. And he told me about it in the airport. But I'll tell you this right now, this dude has not slowed down. He's not fatigued. He's in fantastic shape. And he's continuing down the avenue of trying to get a victory. And Song Yadong's probably fighting the best fight he's had in his UFC career.
Song's pace is now Wayne landed a bruising right hand there. Under 3 minutes now to decide this. Body shot landed. Nice. Oh, nice head kick there for Kenny. Looked like maybe it was the knee that connected. But
if he could have got the hip through, man, you go to sleep. You catch that knee and the hip gets through. Right there, right? You see how he kind of pulls it? It's almost like training, right? When you're about to land a real good head kick, you pull it back. He pulled it back. If he would have kicked through, he would have really he might have knocked Song out.
Those are some of the bigger landed strikes tonight.
Yeah.
Those head kicks. Ooh, that was a nice one too, though. Good jab from Kenny. What a matchup, these two.
Oh, that was a nice body shot, left hook combo.
Nice way to open up this main card. Strike distribution. Both fighters just mixing it up beautifully tonight as we go under 2 minutes here in this third and final round. 86-58 on these significant strike numbers unofficially right now for Song.
This last minute of this fight's going to be fun to watch. They're going to go hard.
Good counter left from Kenny after Song Yadong landed a jab and now goes back to the well with that body kick. One minute to go.
Good sprawl by Song there.
His takedown defense is held up when tested tonight. Good connection there by Kenny. Covers up as Song Yadong presses forward. Well, he ain't Edson Barboza, but he gets that foot to the target pretty quickly. What a fight.
Yeah,
What
that was a fantastic fight.
They haven't stopped throwing it.
It's crazy how quickly this feels like it's gone.
Nice double. Wow. What a timing on that shot. To finish strong like that is huge. Massive. Wow.
All right, so Casey Kenny and Song Yadong go the 15-minute distance. Both fighters seemingly believe they have done enough to get the win. Get you some highlights now. This fight replay is brought to you by Nemiroff Bold Characters since 1872.
Right here you see Casey Kenny throw a nice little check right hook there. Started a kick, the knee lands. Another straight left hand. Left hand straight for Casey Kenny. Really good round for Casey Kenny. In round 3, Dixon gets a takedown to end the fight. What a fantastic fight between these two young men.
I'm trying to eavesdrop during these conversations as UFC veteran Danny Castillo and Uriah Faber, the Hall of Famer, come in to acknowledge Casey Kenny, who seems to want to try to coax Uriah Faber into one more fight. But so much has been made of this UFC bantamweight division over the last several months, and rightfully so. Dean Thomas pushing out a tweet recently saying it's the best division in the UFC, and he doesn't want to hear any counter arguments. And another great showcase for the 135-pound division tonight. As we await the all-important scorecards, Song Yadong was ranked 14th going into his last fight against Kyler Phillips, unranked at present. As we show you the significant strike numbers round by round, Song Yadong had the advantage in all 3 rounds. Biggest gap in that third and final round. All right, the official decision is brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. Guaranteed Rate can save you money on your monthly mortgage payment. Visit rate.com to get started. With those scorecards, here is Bruce.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. Kerry Hatley scores the contest, 29-28, Kenny. Salia Alta scores the contest, 29-28, Yadong. And Chris Lee scores it, 30-27, for the winner by split decision, Song Yadong!
Song Yadong, what a fantastic fight. How good does it feel to grind a win out like you just did against Casey Kenny?
你刚刚打得非常好啊！你刚刚把这么漂亮的一场胜利，你有什么感觉？
我非常的激动，因为我上一场其实表现的不好，但不是我。那这一场我觉得我也会做得更好。
He says he's really excited because last time that wasn't real me. He said so. This time I did much better.
If you take a look at the big screen up here, the body kicks from the outside really paid dividends against Casey Kenny, and his pressure was leading him into your strikes. Was that the game plan coming in to really beat up the body?
你刚刚那个中扫对他一直很有效啊，那个压力也压得很好，这是我们的计划吗？
起坐，这是我们计划之一。我知道他的中场非常好，所以我要以眼还眼。
Yeah, this is our good game plan. I know he has really good body kicks, so I'm giving his taste of his own medicine.
The whole build up to the fight, you said you wanted to show your grappling, but the whole time all you did was stand. When are we going to see you use your complete skill set?
你赛前说你要跟他缠斗，结果你又一直站立打击。我们什么时候能看看你的缠斗到底有多棒？
但是我觉得我的站立表现得更好。
I feel like I do much better standing up.
Well, congratulations on a massive victory. Ladies and gentlemen, Song Yadong.
Song Yadong has had some close fights, but 6-1-1 to start his career in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. And on the other side, back-to-back split decision setbacks for Casey Kenny. The $6 million man, Lee Majors, man, does he love this stuff. He'll be cage side every time we come to Houston, as will be that man, the hip-hop mogul and philanthropist Trey the Truth, also in the building with his son, the Rocket, Roger Clemens. All right, these locker room shots are brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. So things got a little testy at the Thursday press conference between Tisha Torres and Angela Hill. Saturday night's all right for fighting, though, and Torres has been doing a really good job of that of late. Tonight, with confidence at an all-time high, she will try to make it 2 for 2 in her series with Angela Hill. The Maryland-born Hill believes she has broken through when it comes to her training and her skills. And now that is left to do is execute tonight to move her way into the strawweight division's top 10. We are sold out inside the T-Mobile Arena. This is UFC 264, Poirier versus McGregor 3. Tuivasa is going to light up this arena.
He's such an animal. His leg's broken.
That's going to be the end of the fight.
He's not over. These guys don't like each other. The animosity appears to be real.
What can you expect in MMA? Never a dull moment in the greatest sport in the world. We are in Houston, Texas, here in the United States of America for UFC 265, Lewis versus Gahn. And DraftKings is the official sports betting partner of UFC. Use code UFC when you sign up now to play free for $10,000 in tonight's main event pool. DraftKings, you can bet on it. UFC 265, Lewis versus Gahn is brought to you by DraftKings. Time is running out to get in on tonight's action. Play free in UFC pools for over $10,000. Download the DraftKings app now and sign up with code UFC. By Guaranteed Rate. Guaranteed Rate can save you money on your monthly mortgage payment. Visit rate.com to get started. By Modelo Especial. Since 1925, we've proved that it doesn't matter where you come from. It matters what you're made of. Modelo. Brewed for those with a fighting spirit. And by Universal Pictures Candyman. On August 27th, I dare you to say it. Candyman in theaters August 27th. Well, Season 5 of Dana White's Contender Series back in your life Tuesday, August 31st. 5 fights, of course, on these Contender Series cards, which all will air exclusively live on ESPN+. This right here, the lineup for the season opener, which comes your way later this month. Featured bout at the top of your screen will be in the light heavyweight division. And then the following week, Tuesday, September 7th, your Dana White Contender Series card looks like this. Welterweight featured bout hits Darian Weeks against Josh Quinlan. Also at middleweight, old friend Anthony Njokuani's brother Chidi is set to face Mario Souza. Season 5 begins on E+ on August 31st. All right, as we get ready for Angela Hill and Tisha Torres, we show you the winningest fighters in UFC strawweight history. They're all chasing the former strawweight queen, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, but Tisha Torres and Angela Hill both with 8 UFC wins. And, of course, one of Tisha Torres' came against Angela Hill in their first meeting at altitude at UFC 188 in Mexico City back in 2015. So, needless to say, long time coming for these women to meet again. And in vastly different places than they were the last time they met. Tisha Torres and Angela Hill are now both in the mix in this loaded strawweight division, but of course only one of them moves forward after tonight. Former castmates on season 20 of The Ultimate Fighter. Strawweight contenders Tisha Torres and Angela Hill battled it out once before in the octagon in 2015 with
Torres taking a unanimous decision win. But the score between the two in all likelihood will officially be settled tonight when they meet up once again here in Houston.
I definitely feel like I have a score to settle. Tisha was my first official loss in MMA, and a win over her just proves that I'm so much better than I was when I first started.
Tonight's fight is going to be exactly the same in that I'm going to have my hand raised, but I'm going to be putting on a dominant performance everywhere the fight goes.
After 4 fights in 2020, the tireless Hill kicked off this year with a big win over Ashley Yoder, and she is aiming for more when she takes on the tiny Tornado.
My goal from here on out is just to keep winning, to get more finishes, take it out of the judges' hands, and get on my way to that title shot.
Torres is coming off a domination of Sam Hughes that extended her winning streak and also proved to the rest of the division that Torres' best days may yet be in front of her.
When the octagon door locks and goes in for the ride of her life, I'm in the best shape of my life, and I'm ready to just rock and roll.
Here she is, Angela Overkill Hill, fighting out of San Diego, California by way of Clinton, Maryland. Dom, your former teammate, you know her exceedingly well, 18th UFC appearance. Last time out earlier this year against Ashley Yoder, she was super aggressive in securing her 8th UFC win.
Her and her husband have done an awesome job filling in gaps with one another. I mean, they're a great team, and they brought a lot of good training partners in to prepare Angela Hill for this matchup. And like she said, she faces personally. Because of that fight, I've watched her focus on her takedown defense nonstop. Not just in that fight, but smaller fights. She knows these girls are going to try to take her down and clinch her. So she's also working with Justin Torres, and she's worked that with many other Jessica Pennies, many other grapplers, and she's added that to her game where she's very tough to take down, but she also has some wrinkles where she'll do great damage instead of just trying to stuff the takedown. She's looking to meet you in the middle, hit you with elbows, hit you with knees, use that clinch to trip and set her strikes up from that position, and that is where she's filling in the gaps.
What's also different about Angela Hill, if you see her on TV now, she's an analyst, and she said since she's been doing that, she's been studying a lot more. And she said in her prep, she has seen that when Tisha Torres enters, opposed to backing up as she did in fight 1, she wants to sit down and beat her with strikes. They worked on cutting off the cage and making sure every time Tisha darts in, because she does it over and over again, she makes her pay for it.
All right, so here is the perennial strawweight contender, currently number 10 in the world, Tisha Torres, 14th UFC appearance. She has never been finished, despite taking on former champions like Rose Namajunas, Jessica Andrade, Joanna Jacek, and Zhang Weili. And DC, she really seems to be coming into her own in the best mental and physical place of her life. We shall see if that produces the desired result tonight.
You know, for Tisha Torres, she's a fantastic fighter. Very quick, very agile. She explodes into her opponents like no one else in the division. Her and Angela have a lot of heat. And as you said, John, the best shape of her life, a lot of that heat is based on her appearance. Because she felt as if Angie questioned her way that she got to look in the way that she does. A lot of heat. I cannot wait for this fight.
All right, tonight's fighter descriptions are brought to you by Universal Pictures' Candyman on August 27th. I dare you to say it. Candyman in theaters August 27th.
Not me, I'm not saying that. I watched that movie. Terrified me. Anyways, Tisha Torres.
Childhood.
Tisha Torres, I mean, the way that she's shown up with the different dynamic of kicks, mixed it with the takedown, she's got like a karate style with the way that she throws it. She's got amazing side kicks. And it adds a wrinkle to a Muay Thai fighter who aren't used to those side kicks up the middle. They're used to the kicks coming around towards the head and the body. So it's a different, straight line attack that Tisha Torres has that she throws to the chin, she throws to the body, mixed in with after she lands that, she follows with her hands. It's just a different dynamic against a nice Muay Thai style. of Angela Hill.
All right, this rivalry in all likelihood to be settled here tonight. This tale of the tape sponsored by Sweet Girl, starring Jason Momoa and Isabella Merced, coming soon to Netflix. Torres 31, Angela Hill is 36. Hill has 2 inches in height, 4 inches in reach, but she is the betting underdog tonight against the Fall River-born Tisha Torres. Here now, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC strawweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a Muay Thai kickboxer, holding professional record, 13 wins, 9 losses. She stands 5 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 115 pounds. Fighting out of San Diego, California, by way of Clinton, Maryland, presenting the number 12 ranked strawweight contender in the world, Angela Overkill Hill! And now introducing her opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a kickboxer, holding a professional record, 12 wins, 5 losses. She stands 5 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 115 pounds, fighting out of Colorado Springs, Colorado, presenting the number 10 ranked strawweight contender in the world, Tisha the Tiny Tornado Torres! And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Mike Beltran.
One of MMA's finest referees, Mike Beltran. The great Ariane Celeste with us live on pay-per-view. Tisha Torres trying to extend her UFC winning streak to 3 at the expense of her rival Angela Hill.
You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Hell, let's go.
Tonight's Fight Clock is sponsored by Sweet Girl, starring Jason Momoa and Isabella Merced, coming soon to Netflix. Torres in the all-red, Angela Hill counters in white.
Angie was way more aggressive against Ashley Yoder. Let's see if she takes that same approach against Tisha Torres, a fighter who shows way more activity on her feet and movement.
Torres had a wrestling-heavy attack in the first meeting between these two ladies. She said in large part due to the altitude in Mexico City, which plagued a lot of fighters that night at UFC 188.
It was bad. I saw what it did to Yair Rodriguez, and I will not repeat what I saw at that locker room, man. It was crazy. People were going crazy. King got tired there. He never gets tired.
Those right there, those teep kicks and the side kicks are the one difference in the styles that makes a big difference in how they match up. That's going to be a big thing. Angela Hill's going to have to sweep those side kicks and those teep kicks out the way because she tends to square up and come down the middle so she can land her elbows and knees, and that's that Muay Thai style.
Well, Tisha's, faster, right? You see it right away. Tisha is much faster than Angie. Angela's going to have to find a way to make contact, hit Tisha Torres, and just earn some respect. Because right now, Torres is way out ahead of her.
That's right there.
Beautiful catch and trip by Angela.
That's the Muay Thai, and that's why they stand more square, because it's easier to catch kicks when you stand square. But that also leaves an opening for the teep kick. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes throughout the rest of the fight.
This is a controller. Torres almost climbing the fence to get up.
This is where Angela has made a lot of improvements. This is where she's been wrestling a lot of different people, just immersing herself in the fence grappling and in the grappling in general, wearing the passion into it so much.
Well, you remember the first fight, it was Torres that was grounding Angela Hill. Now you see Angela going for takedown.
And she's confident going for it. She's not second-guessing him right now. She believes. Very nice takedown. Almost got in complete control. Just dropped her the butt for a second. Nice knees. And this is where Angie does really well, too. She wants this clinch where she can land knees and elbows and keep a hold of Tisha.
All right, this coach's cam is brought to you by Jose Cuervo and Tequila.
Let's reset. Hands up, chin down.
Back to the center line. Back to the center line. Nice shot. Nice shot.
Chin down, Tisha.
Chop that leg, please.
2.5, Tisha. 2.5.
Oh, wait.
Follow up.
Give me a switch, too.
That was close. Hill was not looking at her when she threw that kick, and she was a little closer. She might have been in trouble.
Hill has been training her judo game under the great Justin Flores, who Dominic Cruz has a long-standing relationship with, but talked a lot about
the offensive nature of her game now in the clinch. You saw signs of it a few moments ago. See if she can work that again. Under 2 here to go in round 1.
The one weapon there, the team kicks down the middle. That's the only thing that really I've seen with Angie. She's got to figure out a way to use her arms to sweep them away and counter.
Crypto.com offers the world's most popular crypto card. Spend with the Crypto.com Visa card and get up to 8% back.
Hill doesn't move whenever Tisha Torres enters. She kind of closes her eyes and almost just waits. And that's why Torres is landing at such a high rate.
There's not a lot of head movement.
No, she's not
that's
moving
the
her head.
difference. There's no head movement because it's a Muay Thai style. It's not as much about head movement, but just eating and returning.
Man, she has got to move her head, though. Look at that.
Not wrong.
Body kick that a right hand from Torres. Coming up on a minute to go here, round 1. Spinning back fist does not land for Torres.
Feints also would really support Angie. Faking, in and out, forward, back. Right now she's kind of plodding forward.
Plodding forward,
instead of forward, back.
Look at the
And that's
difference in
where
the stance, too. Torres is bouncing
back
up and down. Yeah, she's not stationary. So she's reacting so much faster.
It's just
than Angela.
Yeah. And just looking to do damage, that's for sure.
We'll see combination from Torres. Now a kick to the body.
3 right hands in a row for Angie there.
Yes, she did.
Nice blitz by Torres there.
That is where that is where Hill says she would stand firm, right, John? She would stay there and wait to try to return something when Tisha entered.
Nice elbow. Threw a nice spinning elbow there. Didn't do a lot of damage, but it was a good attempt. Nice takedown attempt there.
Oh, nice body kick late in the round from Hill. Fast-paced round 1.
Great first round.
Tonight's Total Canvas brought to you by Body Armor, the official sports drink of the UFC. Grab one today at AM PM.
Here's some water for you. Okay, listen. All she's doing is that fucking side kick, all right? You're giving her too much space. I need volume. So feints, volume. We're going to have to take a reload. She's going to run away every time, okay? If she keeps shooting, it's sloppy. Give me a knee, all right? Feints, re-attack, keep her against the fence. We'll end her off. I need more volume. I need you to keep feinting.
Right here, you see Torres land a body kick, then a right hand over the top, then another body kick to follow. Then on that blitz, she lands the left hook, then the right hand behind it, another one. Here comes Angela Hill. She caught the kick, little back foot sweep. See it in Muay Thai, first thing you learn in class. Overhand right lands.
Don't give her a side kick. Stay out of range on her. You got it, babe.
Well, this year, month of August is absolutely packed with live events on UFC Fight Pass. Catch the best in global combat sports. From Submission Underground, Cage Fury, Unified MMA, Ultimate Warrior Championship, Fury FC, and more. Every week is Fight Week with UFC Fight Pass. All right, second round here. You heard Adam Pride there directing Angela Hill. Wants to stick away from those side kicks of Torres, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, that's the weapon right there that landed in the first couple fights that she's landing now. That really makes a difference because it keeps Angie from coming forward. Right there, you see it land again. But Angie just wants to come forward heavy.
This is where Hill can find success if she can trap her along the side of the octagon. If you don't give her too much space, you can trap your opponent and make them fight you in close.
That's what she wants. She wants you to meet. She wants to head her off and get her to meet her in the middle so she can utilize her clinch, being the taller fighter.
That's not an easy thing to do, though, when Tisha Torres is so good at her fight style.
Definitely not easy.
Hill 1 for 4, unofficially on her takedown attempts thus far. To this point, Torres has landed nearly twice as many significant strikes through 6 minutes.
The difference has been the elusiveness so far, Tisha. I mean, they're both pretty even in the striking, but Tisha's just not getting hit quite as much as Angie.
The speed. She got hit there, but she's so much faster. I think there's a big difference in speed between Hill and Torres. Ooh, little check right hook there by Tisha Torres.
I'm telling you, after Hill had landed a more seminal blow from Torres.
And then stepped off, pivot and turn. Back to space.
When Tisha Torres was competing at the UFC Apex, she loved sort of competing without a crowd. It sort of felt like a glorified sparring session. And
it seemed like that sort of helped her rebuild her confidence a little bit, performing admirably early in this one.
Well, Tisha Torres has lost fight, but I mean, Jessica Andrade, Wei Lee, Joanna Jacek, she only loses to the best of the best, right? So now she's back on a run as Angela Hill gets the takedown.
And Angela Hill had a nice adjustment to that team kick. She caught it, pulled it into the body lock, and that's something she's been throwing right there, and you can see it.
P3, the official protein snack of UFC, is giving fans the chance to win a trip to the Octagon and more. Visit P3PackAPunchSweeps.com to learn more. Hill with hands connected, now not anymore.
Oh, nice knee there by Angela.
Left hand from Torres out of the break. And Angela Hill starting to show some swelling on that right side of her face. 6 takedown attempts already from Hill through the fight's first 8 minutes.
And that's a nice thing to add. I mean, to try to change up the fight from the first fight, adding the takedowns and those side kicks.
Yeah, especially when you were the one getting taken down the whole first fight. Oh, nice turn there by Torres.
And she's on that clinch heavy. But
now Angela's got the clinch. Oh. I mean, Hill's walking through some shots, but she is getting lit up when she gets coached by Keisha.
I mean, how many times have we seen Derek Lewis get clinched and just start throwing haymakers out of it?
He knocks people out.
Not supposed to be able to do it, but if it works, it works.
It does work.
Big second round on the numbers already for Tisha Torres. And if we do get to the stools after round 2, we'll see what type of adjustments.
Oh, John, I was thinking the same thing.
How about that?
There's been some big adjustments need to be made in Angela Hill's corner after round 2, because right now what they're doing, or the idea is really not paying dividends.
And that's where it comes down to the leadership in the corner to make the adjustments for the fighter. Not be too emotional, keep them calm, and see if they can pull out of them.
She's got to finish. She's going to have to finish the fight. Feels like she's down 2 rounds to 0.
Pretty good left hand landed with power for Hill a moment ago.
And it'll take flurries like that for her to try to pull this one out.
Nice spinning elbow. Oh! What a crazy combination.
Torres slips at the end of the combination.
Nice neon belly. Great job by Angela Hill to go to neon belly, looking for the mount. Let's see what she can do here.
That happened in short time. The time was so short.
Likely 2-0 Torres after 2.
Body kick from Tisha here. Lands. Another body kick. Oh, that's an inside kick to a left hand. And a counter right hook here. Out of the pocket for Tisha.
I'm not sure. So I need takedowns, okay? Takedowns. Give me a 1-2, a little feint when she's getting the fence, hard 1-2, and clash with her. If she's gonna do that flurry shit, hit her with the elbow. Get her the fence, feint, hard 1-2, into the clinch, trip her from there, okay? She's got nothing for you in the grappling department, all right? Takedowns, okay? Takedowns. Big ones. Get her against the fence, keep her there. Let's do it, baby. You'll fight, right? You'll fight. Volume, okay?
Let's go, seconds out, back this in. Let's go, out.
All right, round 3 is brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of the UFC. Dean Thomas, Angela Hill's husband, Adam, gave her a lot to think about there. He seems to think this might be 1-1. What do you think?
I think she's losing. I thought she lost both rounds. But the reality is that she has to hold her hands in a more responsible spot. Because she's at a speed disadvantage, she needs to position her body in a way where she doesn't have to move so much to defend. Because when Torres fires, Angie just doesn't react fast enough. Right. And when she does, she overcorrects, and it's still too late.
Thank you, Dean Thomas, UFC veteran. Appreciative crowd acknowledging the combatants at the beginning of this third and final round.
Lucky to have that third eye out there watching. Thanks, Dean.
And I think what could serve Angie well is to move in advance, right? Because her trying to react when the punches are coming in her direction has not worked.
Beautiful
Try to
job
move
by
a little
Hill.
bit.
Or excuse me, by Torres to fight for the underhook. Get some clearance. Sorry, Daniel. Just over 4 minutes to decide this one.
I mean, the call to grapple, I don't know about that because you're kind of down 2 rounds. Do you want to just nullify it and try to win by grappling, or do you want to try to hurt this person and get her out because you're down 2 rounds?
Well, she was able to get to the mount last time, right? Yeah. Hope for a mistake from Torres. Put yourself in that same position where you can go chase the finish, or just let everything go. Start just throwing punches.
It's a tough position. Do you go for broke in the stand-up and try to get the finish, or do you go for the takedown and get position?
Yeah. Well,
what's the
on
better
the stand-up,
tactic?
on the stand-up right now, she just is struggling. You know, they said when Tisha blitzes, try to land an elbow. And maybe that'll work.
Good hips by Angie there. Tisha's just a little bit more quick and a little bit more elusive, and that's been the real big difference with the side kicks and the tip kicks up the middle. Nice body shot.
18th pro fight for Torres. She has never been finished as she lands again.
She is slowing down a little, though, and just keep the pressure up. Tisha's up by about twice the punches, maybe, twice the strikes.
Throwing a lot. They were both very busy.
Hill has fought through the adversity pretty well.
There's good in this, right? But if you're Angela Hill and you go back and you think, man, this girl just might be a very difficult matchup, right? She beat me in the grappling fight 1, and she was able to kick me in the strike 2. She's won a bad style for me, but she ain't giving up on herself, I'll tell you that much.
That's not even close to over. She's in this fight all the way to the end, but yeah, it's styles make fights. We've said it a million times.
And Hill, you can see her loading up that right hand, and she's going to have to start uncorking them, yep, just like that. But I mean, Torres still just kind of blitzes her. And then when she gets to going backwards, she's so fast.
And more often than not with Torres, it ain't just one strike, it's combinations. Never up old character since 1872.
Very competitive matchup, these two, though.
Nice punch work there by Angela Hill.
Angela Hill went for the takedown early. She's kind of back to the striking now. So she creates some kind of sort of grappling transitions from that clinch, maybe. Try to get up in some control.
Torres starting to bleed from the nose a little bit. Go ahead, DC.
John, if Tisha Torres can win this fight, right? You put Brianna Van Buren and Angela Hill as 2 of your wins in your last 3 fights, she's on the uptick again. You expect her to beat Sam Hughes in the way that she did. But if she can win this fight, as it seems that she's doing, Tisha Torres has some real momentum. And the next time she's in the octagon, she's going to be staring across from one of the very elite at 115 pounds.
She's got championship aspirations. There's no doubt about it. It's amazing to think about when she dropped 4 in a row, granted also elite competition. She's coming strong now.
Nice attempt, nice shot there attempt from Angie. Yes. Change levels 100% as much as she could have maybe, but good timing.
She can get a one good shot in and do a takedown.
Final 30 seconds.
These ladies have done a lot of rounds with each other. You can see it. They face.
And as you saw a moment ago, no strawweight has graced this octagon for more minutes than Angela Hill. There's a late takedown from Torres.
That was a well-timed takedown. Nice, almost a get up from Angela Hill there, so close.
Nice way for Tisha Torres to put a capstone on an excellent performance tonight. Crowd enjoyed the strawweights. This is ubiquitously regarded as the deepest division in terms of the women in the UFC, and they did not disappoint tonight. This fight replay brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
Right here, you see Tisha Torres with that nice body kick, landed them from both sides. Then on that blitz, she's going the right hand and just letting combinations fly. Did a real good job with her kicks to the body, kicks low. I thought Tisha Torres fought a beautiful fight tonight. Nice little check right hook by Tisha. And then that level change off the overhand right. Tricked Angie to finish the fight the best way possible.
So Tisha Torres came in number 10 in the world. Angela Hill with the number 12 next to her name. Unless something crazy happens, Tisha Torres will have her hand raised in a matter of moments. The official decision is brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. Guaranteed Rate can save you money on your monthly mortgage payment. Visit rate.com to get started. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. The judges score the contest 30-27, 30-27, and 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision, Tisha the Tiny Tornado.
Wow, Tisha Torres, what a fantastic performance. How good does it feel to put the Angela Hill chapter in your rearview mirror going forward?
It's now in my rearview mirror twice, so I think it's pretty good.
You know, you did a really good job of using your footwork, your entries, all your body kicks. You have fought such a great fight. Take a look up here. I mean, entering, landing hard shots. The first time you beat her with the grappling. This time all striking. How satisfying is it? And was that what you plan to do going in here?
Oh, I'm super satisfied. The first one, she said, was the most boring fight in the UFC. I think tonight we put on a show for you guys. I'm really happy with my performance, and I'm definitely an elite striker, one of the best strikers in the division.
Tisha, you have now won 3 in a row. Brianna Van Buren, Sam Hughes, and now Angela Hill. Who would you like to fight next? Because you are in line for something very big.
Mick, Dana, you guys know I want a top 5 fight. I'm working my way to the top, and that's what I deserve next.
You definitely do. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. What do you want to say?
Thank you guys for this fight. Hello, Houston. But I want to dedicate this fight to my grandma. Mid-camp, I found out my grandma has stage 3 breast cancer. So I actually flew back to Florida, stayed a week with her, and she's fighting for her life. So this fight goes to everybody out there dealing with cancer or have somebody who has cancer. I love you, Grandma. This fight's for you.
Tisha, best luck to your grandmother, and congratulations on a really good fight. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Tiny Tornado, Tisha Torres.
3 consecutive wins for the Massachusetts native Tisha Torres. All right, the UFC stars are out tonight. There is Lauren Murphy. She will challenge Valentina Shevchenko for the UFC flyweight title at UFC 266. The flyweight king, Brandon Moreno, is here. And, of course, Juliana Pena was to challenge Amanda Nunes tonight. That fight will be put back together. All right, these locker room shots are brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. A lot of fans have circled this one on the fight card. Washington State's Michael Chiesa has methodically worked his way into the welterweight division's top 5 by imposing his will and his grappling on the opposition. Tonight, he will have announced himself as a true title contender if he can get past that man, arguably the division's most underrated man, the silent assassin, Brazilia's Vicente Luque. All he's done is reel off wins in 9 of his last 10. He's finished 18 of his 20 pro wins, and if you have seen Vicente Luque fight before, you are definitely coming back for more. All right, here's a look at what is coming up on the UFC schedule, brought to you by Trojan, who reminds you to protect yourself at all times. All right, so next Saturday, a rare dark week, then August 21, it's a big one, UFC Fight Night. Cannoneer versus Gastelum, main card start time of 10 p.m. Eastern. August 28th, an absolutely electric headliner at featherweight, Edson Barboza versus Giga Chikadze, also 10 p.m. Eastern for the main card on ESPN. And then Saturday, September 4th, UFC Fight Night, Brunson versus Till, that card wall-to-wall on ESPN+. And make a note, starts early, 1 p.m. Eastern for the prelims, followed by the main card at...
Well, they are in the building now, folks. These fighter arrivals are brought to you by Universal Pictures' Candyman on August 27th. I dare you to say it, Candyman, in theaters August 27th. Well, Houston is ready to show out for their hometown hero, Derek Lewis, who has entered entered the Toyota Center. With 20 of his 25 career wins coming by way of knockout, Derek is ready to put that power on display tonight and fulfill his dream of winning that world title in his hometown. But the undefeated Cyril Gahn is standing in his way, and the Frenchman has skyrocketed through the division in a short amount of time, but he told us this week he knows he is ready to do whatever it takes to get that gold belt wrapped around his waist almost 2 years from the day of his UFC debut. John, the big boys are going to face off not long from now.
I'm anxious, MJ. Now I'm anxious. Thanks for that. These props to watch brought to you by DraftKings. Play free in the main event pool for $10,000 in cash. Use code UFC when you sign up. DraftKings, you can bet on it. All right, so for Lewis to win by decision, 14-1. Cyril Gahn, about 2-1 there. Win by knockout, you see the numbers. And they win by submission. It's pretty juicy for both Lewis and Gahn. All right, so 9 years ago, as a lightweight, Ultimate Fighter Live winner Michael Chiesa stated his intentions to fight the best in order to become the best. Tonight, Chiesa's thus far successful welterweight journey continues against Brazilian finisher Vicente Luque.
I love Michael Chiesa at welterweight. This is where he should have been years ago.
The fight he used to make 155 is just insane.
And he told us this week, I'm a legit welterweight. He certainly has the size to compete.
This is where he needs to be, 100%. He's never going back. There's the tap. Michael Chiesa submits Carlos Condit.
I do feel like I made a big statement in the welterweight division, getting that win over Neil Magny. I think it put a lot of guys on notice that I can push it from bell to bell and beat a guy from pillar to post. The mindset I need to have in the Vicente Luque fight's the same mindset I have every fight. It's kill or be killed. I got to push myself to my limits and do whatever it takes to win.
Well, you want to talk about a highlight reel. Vicente Luque's got one. There's something in this man's soul that can't stop him, can't prevent himself from biting down on that mouthpiece and let it go.
A bloody war. Submitted Nico Price. Yep, that's submitted. It's over. He's knocked out Bilal Muhammad. Muhammad's in trouble. That's it. That's a lot of high-level experience.
My last fight was against former champion Tyron Woodley. A big win for me and definitely for my career. I'm aiming to get to the top, and that was an important step towards that.
Tyron's in a terrible position here.
Vicente Luque submits Tyron Woodley.
Win or lose, I hurt my opponents. They don't come out of the fight, healthy, and it's tough to fight against somebody that's always trying to finish you, that is not afraid, to put himself in danger to try to knock you out.
Vicente Luque does it again.
To become world champion, I just need to continue building on this momentum that I've gained since I've gotten into the welterweight division. This fight's going to be harder than the last one for sure.
I've been showing every single fight that I'm a dangerous guy. I can finish anybody in the division. I do believe I can finish him. This can guarantee me a title fight.
Vicente Luque and 6.
I just see myself getting my hand raised. I'm ready and willing to do whatever it takes to get my hand raised against Vicente Luque. Come hell or high water, I'm going to get my hand raised.
All right, so here is the super likable Vicente Luque making the walk for his 17th UFC appearance, 13-3 thus far in the octagon. Megan, a well-rounded skill set, doesn't even begin to describe it, and he now finds himself on the cusp, potentially with a win tonight of his first shot at that elusive world title.
Yeah, a lot on the line here, and he prepared in a way that it was kind of funny when he explained it to us. He said, this is the worst camp ever because all I did was wrestle. But he believes that repetitive, exhaustive work is going to prepare him for anything Michael Chiesa brings into this matchup. And he also told us, listen, I'm a great grappler no matter what. I've got some tricks of my own, but he truly believes that all of the work he's put in on the grappling will pay dividends and be the difference maker and allow him to get one big step closer to that belt at 170.
Oh, those grappling heavy camps, DC, I know you know them all too well, but Chiesa is a unique challenge in this division. Same can be said for Luque, man. Most people have succumbed to his power and his pressure on the field.
Absolutely. I mean, he's so proficient. He's so technical. He's so good with everything he does. He said, of course, he wants to fight on his feet every time, especially against Chiesa, who he feels is very limited. He said, when you look at Michael Chiesa, he's a better version of Damian Maia in terms of getting guys to the ground. So look for Luque to try to maintain space and pick Chiesa off as he enters and hit him while he's going back.
Luque knows that
Michael's going to try to take him down. So he said, it's okay. Just don't resist that. Just do with what it is. If he takes you down, use my jiu-jitsu to create space. Don't accept and just stay there looking for submission. Then on top of that, get up and make him strike. Wrestling and striking missed will wear him out. So here is Michael Maverick Chiesa. Other than Derek Lewis, loudest ovation at the weigh-in was reserved for this man back in 2012. He won the hardest season of the Ultimate Fighter, 13 weeks on the Ultimate Fighter line. That was at 155 pounds. And Dom, it has been all systems go since he moved up to welterweight 4 fights ago. Since the Ultimate Fighter Live, I've watched this man continually get better and better, and also bigger and bigger. He is a completely different weight class, started at 155, now he's a welterweight, and he's a solid welterweight, bigger than most of them. He wants to set up his takedowns by moving his feet, keeping the jab going, and making Vicente Luque kind of chase him and reset. And then when he's trying to find him, he says, I'll pull Vicente into the brawls that I need to create my takedown opportunities. Ground and pound, bottlenecking the positions with my ground and pound to set up my submission is going to be key when I get him there because he is seasoned in jiu-jitsu. But if I'm punching him, that takes away a belt every single time.
Michael Chiesa likes to keep everything tight. You know, he tucks the sweater into the fans. All week they've been telling Michael Chiesa, don't wake up at 4 in the morning to watch Gable Chiefs and Dave Taylor and the other guys for the U.S. wrestling team. This guy is a grinder. He wants to get close to you. He wants to take you down. He wants to wear on you. He wants to test the cardio. And he can do that up at welterweight because he is so big. He is so strong. He went from dying to make 155 to cutting weight to make 170. Michael Chiesa has gotten it right at 170 to this point. Can he do it again against Vicente Luque?
And he's made a lot of changes over his last several training camps. This last training camp took place entirely in Vegas, was working with middleweights. And one thing we also talked about, injecting gi jiu-jitsu back into his training camp since the Anthony Showtime Pettis fight, training back in the gi, he believes could potentially pay dividends. Tonight you see his teammate Terrence McKinney, whom he went to high school with, chiming in. And it is all in front of Michael Maverick Chiesa tonight as he tries to reel in a big one in the form of Vicente Luque. This Tale of the Tape is sponsored by Sweet Girl, starring Jason Momoa and Isabella Merced, coming soon to Netflix. Chiesa 33, Vicente Luque will be 30 in November. Chiesa taller by a couple of inches. Both men enter the octagon with an identical reach of 75.5 inches. All right, now for the introductions. Back inside to Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a Muay Thai kickboxer, holding professional record, 20 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds, fighting out of Brasilia, Brazil, presenting the number 6 ranked welterweight contender in the world, Vicente, the silent assassin, Luque! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist. Professional record, 18 wins, 4 losses. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 170.5 pounds. Fighting out of Spokane Valley, California, Washington. Presenting the Ultimate Fighter Season 15 winner and the number 5 ranked welterweight contender in the world, Michael Maverick Chiesa! The action begins. A referee in charge, Kerry Hatley.
Kerry Hatley's got a pretty good seat for this one. So does Brittany Palmer. So do we, but we watch the monitors a lot of the time, right?
I mean, Chiesa's fired up, man.
Michael Chiesa and Vicente Luque.
All right, man, before your hard work pays off. Ready? Let's go to war. Come on.
in the welterweight division. This fight clock is sponsored by Sweet Girl, starring Jason Momoa and Isabella Merced. Coming soon to Netflix. Chiesa out of the southpaw stance is in green. Luque, the orthodox fighter, is in black.
Mike said, in the past I was in mud. My feet were in mud. So what I'm going to do is move, keep my jab going, and then when he sets his feet to hit me, that's when I'm going to be able to get my takedowns. It's a different approach. Instead of running forward and forcing the grappling, he says, I'll pull Vicente, and then sometimes I'll force it.
So you want to try to keep that jab in his face. And right here already, you see a different approach from Chiesa. He's out on the outside, staying long, not just mummying into Vicente Luque, trying to get close to get takedowns.
And Luque showing some different looks early, going southpaw at times. Said he wanted to put a rhythm on Chiesa, make him uncomfortable, and eventually thinks he can tire him out. We shall see.
And you see Gilbert Burns with Vicente Luque. I mean, we all should have friends like Gilbert Burns. He's at everybody's fight corner and helping.
Not to mention he's grappling every weekend, grappling tournaments. You guys are an animal.
Gilbert Burns is the man, as is Vicente Luque and Michael Chiesa.
Nice left hand, Chiesa there. And that's what he wants. He wants to pull him and get Vicente to try to chase him and then land the strikes and then set up his takedowns.
One of Vicente's best strikes is that low outside calf kick. But because Michael's a southpaw, he can't throw it. He eats guys up with that outside kick.
P3, the official protein snack of UFC, is giving fans the chance to win a trip to the Octagon and more. Visit P3PackAPunchSweeps.com to learn more.
Oh, wow. Left hand. Yeah, that's what happens. You go side to side laterally, and then you strike down the middle, and it comes out of nowhere.
Oh, this nice one, too, by Michael Chiesa.
Yeah.
That might be the best two strikes he's ever thrown in his career.
Yeah,
they were beautiful.
Sorry to cut you off, but he even opened a cut underneath the left eye of Vicente Luque. So, and a right hand from Luque. Looked more like a slip than a knockdown.
Vicente said enough of this. And there's what I wanted.
Made it look
exactly what he wanted. He said finally, when he gets frustrated and starts sitting down to hit me, that's where the takedowns will come.
And I mean, the top pressure of Chiesa is something else, man. He's so long that when he gets on top of these guys, look at him shove that knee through. And you give your back to Michael Chiesa. This dude can submit you in a rear naked choke.
And the one thing that Vicente Luque said he doesn't want to do is never give the back.
Oh, wow. Took Chiesa half a round to work his way on the back of Vicente Luque.
This is an old school wrestling ride he's got. It's like a figure four ride, and he's just putting pressure on the hips so the man can't belly out. Oh, that's in there. That is tight. He's got a nasty crank right there. That is
loose your leg.
So strong.
Loose your leg.
Vicente Luque's never been finished in the UFC. Chiesa getting off the clubs.
He's a little high. He's going to
just switch armbar.
He have to switch. He lost it.
Wow.
Great defense from Luque there.
Oh, he's got it.
That's tight. That is tight. Under 2 minutes to go.
That's it. That's a bars. That's it. Tight.
That is a tight bars.
Yep. That's all the way in, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, my goodness. He's got to feed Chiesa's hips, though.
Oh, that is tight. That's right on.
Now he's starting to feed his hips.
Luque.
Beautiful job. He said, I've got some tricks up my sleeve too.
That was crazy.
Chiesa at times in his career, despite his grappling credentials, has been susceptible to the submission. Vicente Luque.
Oh, he's a real contender now. You cannot ignore Vicente Luque anymore. He just submitted a guy that was undefeated in the weight class. It looked like Chiesa was finishing. Once Luque got the opportunity, he dropped that darts in there and got the finish.
This fight replay is brought to you by Nemerov Gold Character since 1872.
Right here, it looks like Chiesa's changing armbar. Vicente stays patient. Mike goes to his knees. Vicente right away chases the dart. Starts to fall. Chiesa rolls to his back to try to relieve some of the pressure. Now watch this. Luque starts to drive his left leg a little bit closer to Michael Chiesa. Start to feed the hips. There it is. Now it starts to get tight. Once you start feeding those hips into your opponent, you start to almost build him up, and you get that choke. What a fantastic finish by Vicente Luque.
And that, Dom, is one of his go-to chokes, the jiu-jitsu brown belt Vicente Luque. A lot of people were talking about how credentialed he was in that realm leading into this matchup. He's got a couple wins by Anaconda, and once this one's official, his third career win by Darce and 8th career submission win overall.
It is not an accident that he's landing this, though. He landed on Nico Price and other people. He's landed on other opponents. The bottom line is, this is what you want to throw on somebody when they're wrestling. They lead with their head. We lead with our head as wrestlers. And the anaconda's there, the darts, and the guillotines are always going to be there.
And the celebration for Daniel Evangelista, Henry Hooked, and Gilbert Burns. Official decision is brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. Guaranteed Rate can save you money on your monthly mortgage payment. Visit rate.com to get started. And to make this one official, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Kerry Hadley has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 25 seconds of the very first round. Declaring the winner by submission due to a darts choke, Vicente the Solid Assassin Luque.
Vicente Luque, what a fantastic performance. How fired up are you right now to get a finish over a tough guy like Michael Chiesa?
Man, couldn't be a best way to finish the fight. And I want to say something to Kamaru Usman, my man, my friend, but he has some welterweight to show him something. I think I've been showing. I'm finishing most of my fights. I'm not the kind of guy, that make more fights. I come in here, I put my heart out, and I look to win. And if I lose, man, people know that they're going to be in trouble even so. So I think Kamaru, after you get past Kobe, I believe you're going to get past him. I think it's our time. I'm the only guy up there that you haven't fought yet. Let's go.
Vicente, let's take a look at the big screen up here. How close was that rear choke that Chiesa had you in? And how about that darts choke? He said all week, I've got great grappling myself. When he turns his knees, you jump right on it.
Yeah, I mean, his choke was 80% in, like 2 times. But I know how to defend the back really well. And I worked a lot during the camp, so I was confident I was going to get out of it. And once he was, in that position where I could sink in the darts, man, that's my go-to move. And once I lock it, it's hard for people to get out of it, man, really hard.
You called out the champion. I know he's watching. He will have to pay attention. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Vicente Luque,
who entered this one with a finishing rate north of 90%, and it will only go up from there. 14th UFC win. And on DraftKings, if you did have Vicente Luque by submission, that was a 7-1 payout, $100 bet on Vicente Luque by submission would have returned $700 large. So in terms of the most decorated finishers in the history of this UFC welterweight division, Vicente Luque now only trails Matthew Immortal Brown for most finishes in UFC welterweight history. And he is now going to move into the top 5 and be on the short list of potential future title challengers for the consensus pound-for-pound king, Kamaru Usman. All right, time now for the Modelo moment. Just one more fight before the main event. We are about 6 minutes away from the co-main, so make sure you grab a Modelo, scan the QR code to enter for a chance to get UFC 266 for free, plus a virtual meet and greet with a UFC fighter. So DC, Jose Aldo is about to make the walk here in Houston. Man has a lot of gold belts at home, not unlike yourself, and he's got quite the highlight reel to prove it.
You got to give him his roses while he's here, John. This is a legend in the sport, a guy that has been fantastic for a really long time. When you talk about Jose Aldo, you talk about a guy that was the WEC champ, the UFC champ, has been in some of the biggest fights in UFC history. He is an absolute killer. And in the last fight, we saw improvement. We saw Jose not use his hands and his feet. We saw him use his grappling to get him a massive victory over Marlon Vera.
All right, about 5.5 minutes to go before the co-main event. Might be a good time to grab yourself a Modelo. And coming up next, it is the co-main event between a couple of outstanding martial artists. They are Jose Aldo and Pedro Munoz. And to get you primed, here's Megan.
Thank you so much, John. Well, what a matchup we have here between two dynamic top 10 bantamweights. The former 2-time featherweight champion, number 5 ranked Jose Aldo, is a legend in the game and hopes tonight's performance brings him much closer to his goal of another crack at 135-pound gold. He's by no means staying idle, but instead continuing to add new tools to his repertoire. And the Brazilian star has a tall task when facing fellow countryman Pedro Munoz, owning that number 9 spot at 135 pounds. The jiu-jitsu black belt told us he understands who he's facing in Aldo, but he feels like he is better every single place this one can go. Aldo and Munoz throw down and jump.
Oh, Mendez goes down. Alexander Volkanovski, the first Australian-born UFC champion and the force to be reckoned with. He could reign in this division for some time.
I'm telling you, I'm going to stay champion for a long time.
Oh, huge lead by Ortega.
Brian Ortega is a problem for everyone.
They locked that cage. My goal is always the finish.
Oh, that's it.
I'm going to go after the champ, bring a war.
Hell is going to break loose.
Welcome to the war.
Alexander the Great! Relentless, marauding style with legitimate knockout power. Truly, truly amazing.
Brian Ortega. This kid is a finisher.
Volkanovski, you ready or not? I'm coming.
The cold-blooded assassin Valentina Shevchenko.
She is a killer and a true champion.
Lauren Murphy, second longest active winning streak in the division.
That's a bad woman.
Nick.
This guy is as real as it gets. Some of the best boxing and MMA and world-class Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Ruthless Robbie Lawler.
He wants to take your head off. 2 title fights. This card is amazing. I cannot wait.
Welcome to the war.
This is going to be a fantastic card. UFC 265 is going to be crazy. I mean, Brian Ortega looked like a completely different person the last time he stepped in there. But Alexander Volkanovski, a guy that everybody wants to look past. He's a savage. He's beat Max Holloway twice. And what about the Black Widow? On Disney, she may be an assassin, but I don't know if she stands up to Valentina Shevchenko. Where'd she come from? She is just fighting personified. But Lauren Murphy believes that she has the style to get the job done. Robbie Lawler, a fantastic fighter and former champion, welcomes back Stockton's own Nick Diaz. If you're not excited about watching this fight, you do not have a pulse. It should be racing. Nick Diaz is back, fighting Robbie Lawler. This is everybody's dream. But don't forget about the champ, man, as he takes on Brian Ortega. It's going to be a fantastic night.
I'm telling you, how about that main card for UFC 266? And we also remind you, UFC International Fight Week returns to Vegas September 21st through the 25th. Join us for the UFC Hall of Fame induction ceremony. That is September 23rd. A 2-day UFC fan experience, September 24th and 25th. And then, of course, all roads will eventually lead us to UFC 266 on September 25. Learn more at UFCFightWeek.com. All right, tonight's social media posts are sponsored by Sweet Girl, starring Jason Momoa and Isabella Merced, coming soon to Netflix. And the undisputed welterweight champ, Kamaru Usman, has responded to Vicente Luque in kind, and he said, "You look great, my man. We might be dancing soon." Stay tuned on that front. All right, these fight odds are brought to you by DraftKings. Play free at UFC pools for $10,000. Use code UFC when you sign up. DraftKings, you can bet on it. All right, so this fight, depending on where you look, has been close to a pick 'em all week. Right now, Jose Aldo, slight betting favorite at -120. Pedro Munoz comes back, the even money underdog in this showcase spot tonight. They are two of Brazil's finest, the former featherweight champ Jose Aldo and perennial bantamweight contender Pedro Munoz. Tonight, they cross each other's way with high stakes at Toyota Center.
Everything that I do in my life, I do with passion. And a fight is one of them. I'm happy when I'm fighting. I'm happy when I'm there.
This guy is a savage. Pedro Munoz is one of the best guillotines in all of mixed martial arts.
There's the tap!
With knockout power in his hands.
Omar's walking on his feet.
He believes 100% that he can take any man's shot and deliver his own and put him away.
Pedro Munoz with the first round stoppage.
Going to this fight, I have zero to prove anything to anybody because my previous fights always speak for themselves.
There's the tap! The guillotine is there again!
I believe for you to be recognized one of the best fighters, you must be fighting the best fighters out there. And Jose Aldo is definitely one of them.
The king of Rio de Janeiro, Jose Aldo.
He's the man who was the king of the featherweight division for so many years, a Brazilian legend.
He's willing to go in there and risk it all inside the octagon, and that's why he's a fan favorite. That's why he's the greatest featherweight we've ever seen, and that's why he's trying to become a two-weight division champion.
Uma luta atrás, todo mundo falava que eu tinha que me aposentar, mas a partir desse momento agora, todo mundo vai falar que eu vou ser o próximo campeão.
A W. That was the important thing for Jose Aldo. He needed one to show that he still can mount a run at the title.
Do jeito que eu vou treinando agora, eu não me vejo mais perdendo para nenhuma nessa categoria. Agora eu me encontrei, agora eu estou no momento de ascensão de novo, no momento de subida. Então eu vejo um grande problema com o Pedro Moraes.
Oh, what a body shot by Jose Aldo.
Stevens in a world of trouble here.
It's over now.
The King of Rio is back.
Fighting Jose Aldo is huge. I fought former champions before. Now he's in my way.
Oh, Cody's down. That's it. It's out.
I'm going to this fight knowing this fight's gonna be a war. I'm gonna look for the holes. I'm gonna look for timing. I'm gonna try using my speed in advance.
This is the guillotine straight in. What a performance by Pedro Munoz.
I believe this generation, this time right now, I'm definitely one of the best and dangerous in that division. And if I be able to display everything that we both have, I'm gonna become the winner that night.
Pelo fato dos dois atletas serem muito agressivos assim, eu vou pra cima, eu quero lutar pra frente, eu quero jogar os braços rápido, eu quero chutar rápido, eu quero soltar boas combinações, eu sei qual pesado que eu tenho, eu vou vencer.
Jose Aldo gets busy on the feet. Body shots. Jose Aldo by knockout.
É isso que eu tô esperando. Então uma vitória, irmão, arrasadora, não deixando dúvida e mostrar que o Aldo chegou de novo.
All right, so here he is, the 9th-ranked bantamweight contender, Pedro Munoz, 16th UFC appearance, and he has put a lot of highlights on film thus far. Dom, you've trained with this man. Your thoughts on Pedro Munoz in this spot here tonight against Jose Aldo Jr.?
Well, this guy's been just working and working and working. He's got a chip on his shoulder, knowing he belongs champion, and that's what he believes. But this is the fight that you find out where you're at. When you face a Jose Aldo, when you face somebody at the top of the division, the top 5, which he's done before, that's where you really figure it out. We saw him facing Cody Garbrandt, he did well. Facing Aldo, getting through Aldo will put a huge stem in his career, but it's already been so long. Nasty guillotines, nasty submissions, great kicks, great stand-up. I mean, he's literally just like Jose Aldo with his skill set. It's just a matter of who can use the tactics better, who can move who back. Does Pedro Munoz keep him on his heels, or does Aldo keep Pedro Munoz on his heels? And I think that's what's going to matter, because they're so evenly matched. It's going to matter who pushes the pace and who has the higher output more than the actual skill set every time.
Yeah, absolutely. And for Munoz, he's a guy that has fantastic grappling, real power in his right hand. He's insanely durable. He's a guy that doesn't get finished. And he also said that, listen, I have a lot of respect for Jose Aldo. I remember beating Jose Aldo for the first time before I was even fighting. He likes what Jose Aldo represents, but ultimately knows that this is a fight that he needs to get another fight at the top of the division.
And although Pedro Munoz is no longer championship obsessed, he is still championship driven, but these days he is celebrating the smaller victories. Last win wasn't small. Big performance in the fight of the night against Jimmy Rivera, and now he has earned the right to face the Brazilian legend, Jose Aldo Jr. There are a select few truly special walks in MMA, and this is one of them. I have two future UFC Hall of Famers to my right, and Jose Aldo hits the tunnel, and these boys pull out their phones to take a video. I'm starstruck by this guy, DC. Like, he's the only guy who walks into a fighter meeting. I lose my mind. Incredible athlete, human being, and still believes he can be a champion in a second division.
Every single time you start bobbing your head, you know Aldo's going to start running with his knees up high. I mean, I can watch and envision Jose's walkout without even seeing him doing it, right? It's one of those walkouts that you go home and you talk about to your family. But ultimately, what makes Jose Aldo so special is that he is a champion. He was a WEC champion. He was the UFC champion twice. And still being a champion is what motivates Jose Aldo. I thought maybe it was time for fun fights that didn't matter. But Aldo says today he continues to evolve because he still has championship aspirations.
This is a guy, both these gentlemen are guys that I'm honored to be in the weight class with. Jose Aldo's 145 pounds, held the torch for a very long time. I fought alongside him in the WC. I was a champion when he was. He's fighting a long time. He's one of the best in the world, hands down. It's an honor to call this fight. These two right now are about to throw down. And guess what? I'm up here watching this, chomping at the bit, having to sit on the sideline and pump these guys up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, it's not easy, but I'm here for them and not for myself too.
You got a little bit tight. You guess what? If I ever got to watch your walk on my head, it just might explode. But that's a real possibility today with Jose at 135.
All right, fellas. The Ike gives way to the action here tonight's sale to take for the co-main event, sponsored by Sweet Girl, starring Jason Momoa and Isabella Merced, coming soon to Netflix. These gentlemen were born 2 days apart from one another in 1986 in Brazil. Jose Aldo, the taller man by an inch. Both fighters successfully making the weight. Jose Aldo, slightly favored, will have a 5-inch reach advantage. All right, now for the particulars, here's Bruce.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-main event of the evening. Brought to you by Nebra, full character since 1872. And UFC 265 is sponsored by Sweet Girl, starring Jason Momoa and Isabella Merced, coming soon to Netflix. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC bantamweight division. Introducing first, a lady out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 19 wins, 5 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighed in at 135 pounds, fighting out of Sao Paulo, Brazil, presenting the number 9 ranked bantam contender in the world, Pedro the Young And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 29 wins, 7 losses. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 136 pounds. Fighting out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, presenting the former WEC featherweight champion and the former 2-time UFC featherweight champion and the number 5 ranked bantamweight contender in the world, Jose Aldo Jr. The action begins. Referee in charge, Mike Nelson.
Deep breaths, folks. We got a big one in front of us. Luciana Andrade getting us started from round 1. I'd imagine Cody No Love Garbrandt is excited for this one. Pedro Munoz trying to eventually inch his way into legend status, where Jose Aldo Jr. already resides. Tonight's fight block is sponsored by Sweet Girl, starring Jason Momoa and Isabella Merced, coming soon to Netflix. Aldo is in yellow, Pedro Munoz is in black. And the one thing Jose Aldo has talked a lot about in terms of his technical improvements, 2 fights ago aligning with the Marine Corps boxing program, and feels like he's a completely different fighter in a lot of respects when it comes to his hands on the feet.
Feels so much better, so much sharper in his stand-up. Classic Muay Thai stance, hands real high. But I think he's shown a lot of improvements in the jabs, the body punching.
Munoz moved to the United States in 2010 to pursue this dream. Initially was in California, now trains an American top team in South Florida.
Know that Aldo will have the range when the right low kick starts to land. It starts with the jab, the go to the body, and then the low kick will land after he starts landing the body.
4th time in the last 5 fights that Pedro Munoz is facing a current or former UFC champion, Cody Garbrandt, Aljamain Sterling, Frankie Edgar, and Jose Aldo tonight.
I think he earned those opportunities, though. Nobody just gives them, right? So Pedro Munoz, through the work that he's done, has earned the right to stand across from all
these legends. Crypto.com offers the world's most popular crypto card. Spend with a Crypto.com Visa card and get up to 8% back.
I don't like all the big attacks on Pedro Munoz. There's no reason. All those hip to it. He sees it all. So all the spinning attacks, it's just wasted energy. Munoz does not need to do that.
Right now, Aldo's defense is just sturdy. You see he's checked every single kick, and he's just squared up with Pedro. Anywhere Pedro moves, he's squared up, hip to hip with him.
I'd like to see Aldo start to blast some of the kicks too.
Oh, nasty knee.
Seems to be a speed advantage with the weapons for Jose Aldo.
Could you imagine those low leg kicks that Aldo started throwing those with the power that he was beating people up with the leg kicks and he was kicking them in the pod? Right. Oh, nice right hand there by Munoz.
Goes his jab.
One thing about Aldo is he's very smart, so he's not going to get into a gunfight with Pedro. He knows that's what Pedro wants. You're seeing tight defense, trying to see everything, see what weapons Pedro wants to use right now. And then after he starts seeing the weapons, that's when you see Aldo start picking off his own offense.
As usual, Aldo committed to the body early on.
And he goes to that left hook to the body, so his left hook to the head is set up. See, he goes to the body first, now he went left hook to the head. Uppercuts to the knees are what he's looking for against Pedro. There's something he's seeing there. By going uppercut and going right knee, there's something Pedro's doing that he's reading. I think it's that right hand that he's reading to Pedro.
Pedro's throwing everything with so much power, and he's loading up. He enters. So Aldo's trying to time the knees as he comes inside. Munoz needs to settle down a little bit. Slow everything he's doing down. We saw him land that nice right hand right here. That was because he was straight, did load up. He's kind of tries to touch Aldo. He's trying to hurt him. Right there, that's supposed to hurt. I take your time if you're Pedro Munoz.
And notice how Munoz's eyes are at the head and Aldo's are constantly looking at that midsection. While Pedro Munoz, 100 minutes going around.
If that doesn't move, John, the head is constantly moving. Right. But all this, as much as you want to try to shift it, you still got a really big target.
Also, don't forget, if you watch the best basketball players, the best football players, they look one way and they throw the ball the other. This is no different. Jose Aldo will look low and throw high, look high and throw low. Oh! Looks like a body shot, like a left right hook to the body, and it comes all the way through with the uppercut, Aldo.
That was another good right hand there by Pedro. He takes his time to land.
He's holding his ground very well, Pedro. He hasn't budged.
Best of luck score in that round. Tonight's Motor Cam brought to you by Body Armor, the official sports drink of the UFC. Grab one today at AM and PM.
How to Colado? Tough round. Tough round, but it was, in my opinion, it was worse. Okay, great. Okay, get back. You're not tired, you're breathing well, you're calm. His game is try two jabs and try the backhand. That's nothing, there's nothing else.
You see a nice low kick from Pedro, but the counter, nice. Aldo looking for the body, just barely skimming it, and a nice right hand from Pedro. That was one of the bigger shots to the right hand. Left hook right here from Aldo. And some nice left hooks to the body from Aldo as well.
Wipe it down.
The unauthorized reproduction or distribution of this copyright work is illegal and punishable under law. 24 significant strikes apiece landed, albeit unofficially, in that first round. Munoz on 68 attempts, Aldo on fewer at 55 attempts. Munoz here to land that left hook early round two.
Pedro's very aggressive in his approach.
You heard that Pedernera said to Aldo, look, these are the weapons he's looking for. He's looking for the right hand. He's looking for the kick. So you know that now. So the first round was a reading round for Aldo. I'm wondering if he's going to open up now that the fight's going to the second and third. There's the low kick that he's been looking for.
Nice body shot
What's
there by
on
Pedro.
What? 240.
Yeah, see, Aldo's opening up just a little bit more of that. Now that he knows what Pedro's going to, what he's looking for in that whole first round, he let him throw about 10 strikes more than him. And now he's got some range of timing and speed.
Munoz trying to answer Aldo's offense with some of his own.
That's a nice combination there by Aldo. But if Aldo starts digging to the legs a little bit, body shots are nasty.
That jab of Jose Aldo starting to make its presence felt.
And every time Pedro gets too close, he just dips his shoulder, beats him with his shoulder in tight. That's a real boxing technique. We see boxers do it all the time. They jab. When they come close, they kind of just lean into you. That's the technique that I would throw out the window if I'm Pedro Munoz. I'm not spinning, kicking anymore. We've seen it only leads to you being stuck on the bottom in so many fights lately.
Nemiroff, gold character since 1872.
Jab go right up to Pedro there, and that jab has been one of the most efficient weapons for all this so far. The jab, the left hook, and the left hook to the body. He uses that left hand so well. Nice right hand.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice by Pedro.
Nice sort of feint to the leg, but with the punch. Under 3 to go round 2. Munoz goes high, Aldo raises the guard.
That's one thing that we see in Jose Aldo as he gets older in the career. He's much more patient with everything he does. The approach is much more patient, even down the weight class. Generally, when you see guys go down, they want to push the cardio because they have to do so much to get down to that weight class. But I feel like Aldo's actually got more patient in his approach.
His output, he's smart with his output, but more than that, I think it's his defense that's gotten that looks sharp. It's just defense. He's a very defensive mindset, and then he looks for the openings at the perfect time. You know, Pedro's throwing just about 10 strikes more than him every round, but they're not landing. It's just like read strikes for Aldo. The jab
and that little punch counter sure does look like it's landing. Looks like Pedro's equal with him.
Oh, it's back and forth.
Yeah,
right now. We're looking at 113 strikes to 100 strikes.
Yeah,
it's just barely
the accuracy
just
of Aldo.
Barely,
Yeah,
exactly.
Aldo jab keeping Munoz at bay there. Aldo hasn't really committed to the lower half. It's been largely the body and up top for him. 90 seconds to go round 2.
And I think that's from the boxing. John, you said he's made a commitment to the Marine Corps boxing, and you can see his boxing technique has really picked up. But in that, he's almost all but eliminated using his leg kicks, which was one of his best weapons.
Munoz works with a lot of high-level boxers in his own right. That includes the first Brazilian boxer to strike Olympic gold, Hobson Conceição.
And I think part of the reason you're not seeing a lot of low kicks out of Aldo is he knows Pedro Munoz has good defense as well.
Yeah. And that's been the combination, body, jab.
Such an even fight, these two.
As you would have expected, right? We knew it would be a close fight. And I think Pedro's throwing those leg kicks still, but not hard, because every one of them gets checked. But he's staying very active, staying forward, and just giving Aldo a lot of output to think about.
This is a high-level fight in the phone booth right here. These guys' defense and offense are going 1 for 1. It's like a Muay Thai battle right now.
Yes. And if you love stand-up fights, these are the types of fights that you want to see.
Take the right knee and what's that?
It felt like this round Aldo was much more accurate and landed at a higher clip.
Breathing. Come on, breathe. That's it. Okay. Degree.
Wow.
Give you an unplug.
Huh? What you say, B?
We need to put him against the cage and feint forward to get out. So you put him against the cage and make him move his head.
Watch some of the action from these gentlemen. Munoz with a nice jab. Nice right hand. And Aldo, double body shot. To the left hook. Nice jabs the entire round. These guys are very nice jab. That jab's like a piston.
Round 3 is brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of the UFC. No overstating the importance of these 5 minutes in terms of the championship trajectory for both of these men. Jose Aldo in yellow, Pedro Munoz in black. Third round is underway.
Third round, so he's going to unload now.
Hand speed on full display early round 3.
Wow, Aldo's hands are still so fast.
And he got up ahead really quick in that third round, right away.
He just let him fly, man, and he almost hit Pedro with everything he threw.
The jab is really what's opening up Pedro right now. He's keeping good pressure. He's staying in the face, but the head movement's got to show him go move just a little bit. That's why Aldo's able to land those jabs.
Munoz still pressing forward.
He's so durable, though, man. Yeah, he just stays right in front of you, eats everything, doesn't take one step back.
Right back to work to the body. Under Munoz, in terms of his inner monologue, feels like maybe this thing's starting to slip away. We'll see if he can be urgent here late.
But he's going to have to. It felt like it was a close first round. The second round goes to Aldo. Not nearly as close. And the start of his third round has been all Jose Aldo.
It was extremely close. The third round, he got a little ahead. I think Pedro's going to have to pick it up in the second half of this round to even it up.
Triple jab there from Aldo.
That's what's making the biggest difference in the stand-up battle so far is that jab.
Every time Aldo feels cut up. Oh!
Huge combination for Jose Aldo, punctuated by a big right hand. Now back to the well with the body shot.
Nice forwards, man.
Oh!
Nice right hand there, yep.
Nice step there from Aldo. Munoz perhaps would have been wise to try to follow that one up. There were a lot of naysayers when Aldo moved down to 135 pounds. He's made wholesale lifestyle changes to make these weight cuts pretty easy. And despite maybe the aesthetic at times on the scale, he's had no problem making it up.
Nobody ever would think that Jose Aldo would fight at 35 pounds bad struggle to make 45. He must have put down those hamburgers.
That's right.
Those fantastic hamburgers he sells in Brazil.
Famous burger.
I mean, that is a great burger, man. I don't know what kind of meat they got down there, but that is a fantastic burger.
4 famous burger locations for Aldo. Curious. Munoz pretty good in and around that left eye now.
Aldo for a low leg kick, knocks him heels down. And their sweat just dripping off the side of the octagon. These guys are just sweating so much, working so hard. I just don't understand so many spinning attacks by Pedro Munoz. I don't know if this was something they worked and he just hasn't let it go, right? But he continues to do it over and over, even though it's not being successful.
It's just something different. He's trying to add to the game to switch it up. That's the only thing. Using the same strikes, try something different, catch him off guard.
When Aldo lets his hands move, and he's so fast.
And remarkably, Jose Aldo, with the wealth of 5-round experience, has now set his personal best for significant strikes landed in a UFC fight.
much more active down at 135. I was talking about the patient approach that he's taking, but I guess when he's not missing.
Right. I mean, he's landed at a 58% clip.
That's crazy.
So he's dictated the pace of the fight with his defense. When Pedro goes to throw, not the super significant strikes landed, whereas Aldo opens him up with the jab and then the significant strikes follow. It's just little tactics that make it different. It's the boxing.
Yeah, such a high-level chess match. And Aldo has used almost predominantly boxing tonight.
I mean, look at those numbers in round 3, 77%. And I think at this point, it's Munoz a little bit desperation mode, trying to find that finishing shot, given the way these last 2 rounds have transpired. Oh, vintage Jose Aldo. Oh!
How tough is Pedro Munoz, man? He just continues to come forward.
The King of Rio not done yet. We are all witness to Jose Aldo's greatness once again tonight. Pedro Munoz's game started fairly strong, but Aldo eventually took over. This fight replay is brought to you by Nemiroff, old character since 1872.
Right here, you started the 3rd round, Aldo with his jab, 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 3 jabs back to back. Look at the right hand, always right where it's supposed to be. He throws his combination. Outside low leg kick. Drops to Munoz. Uppercut on the way up. And he goes to the body here. Great performance by the King of Rio, Jose Aldo.
So all indications are that Jose Aldo will emerge victorious. Came in number 5 in the world at bantamweight. Did the former 2-time UFC featherweight champion. And if his hand is raised, it will be a 30th professional win for the future UFC Hall of Famer, Jose Aldo. And perhaps even more importantly, it'll be 2 straight at 135 pounds, which gives him definite momentum since fighting Piotr Jan for the vacant UFC bantamweight title last July at UFC 251. The official decision is brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. Guaranteed Rate can save you money on your monthly mortgage payment. Visit rate.com to get started. With the scorecards, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges scored this contest 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision, Jose Aldo Jr.
Não, tá não. Tá louco, você não vai eu também achei. Eu acho melhor. Porra, tu vendo aquele dia que viu? Tava mal pra cara de sentar só.
We're with Jose Aldo Jr. Jose, how are you getting better when you've been in the game this long?
Como é que você tá melhorando tanto tempo, cara?
Pois é, né, Daniel? Cara, tô treinando muito. Meu sonho é ser campeão nessa categoria. Então eu me dedico pra caralho lá no Brasil. Então, pô, essa aqui é a minha fonte de inspiração pra estar aqui hoje.
Yeah, and I've been working a lot. I want to be a champion in this division, and I've been dedicating myself a lot in Brazil. That's why I'm here tonight.
I mean, it was a striking exhibition. Let's take a look at it. You have won so many 5-round fights, but tonight you broke your own personal record for significant strikes landed. How does it feel to have that type of performance against such a tough guy in Pedro Munoz?
Pessoal de golpes que encaixaram. Como é que se sente depois de uma luta dessa contra o Pedro Munhoz?
O Pedro é um cara muito duro, cara. Só tenho que agradecer a oportunidade de ter lutado com ele. Eu conheci ele novinho ainda. Nós dois, eu acho que a gente não tinha nem estreado ainda. Então, muito obrigado, Pedro. Cara, eu tô treinando bastante, né? Então, desde eu tô treinando, eu quero ser campeão. Então, pode ter certeza que os próximos desafiantes aí, eu vou cair pra dentro ainda mais.
I want to take the opportunity to actually fight Pedro. He's a really nice guy. We've met him before, but I'm training a lot. I'm training harder, and you can bet that the next guys are going to see me more aggressively.
Eu só queria deixar um recado em português para você. Valeu, galera do Brasil, muito obrigado pela energia positiva. Professor Nemo, estamos no caminho certo, muito obrigado. Pessoal da Seleção Marinha, estamos junto, Boxe Marinha, melhor boxe do Brasil. Excelência gosta, estamos juntos, hein? Valeu.
I want to thank everybody in Brazil. Professor Nemo, thank you so much. Everyone in the Marine Corps, thanks for the boxing that you've helped us, and thanks for the positive vibes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the King of Rio, Jose Aldo Jr.
And he'll be 35 next month, but still proven to have a whole lot left and perhaps will become a two-division champ before all is said and done. And the 48th governor of the great state of Texas, Craig Abbott, Octagon side here tonight and enjoying the action. All right, now live from the Toyota Center here in Houston, Texas. It is time for the main event for UFC 265, Lewis versus God. So you see the numbers 2 and 3 next to their respective names. They would like to trade that in for an IC, which stands for interim champion. But there you see Francis Ngannou is lurking. He is likely the most interested observer as to how this main event plays out tonight. Already entrenched as the UFC heavyweight division's knockout king, Derek Lewis hopes to add another crown to his collection here in his hometown when he faces the oncoming Ciryl Gane for the interim heavyweight title.
So when I started my career in the MMA, it was really fast. After only 6 months in the MMA, I did my first fight, TKO for the belt. After only 3 years, I'm fighting for the belt in the UFC.
This is an interim belt, but this is my ticket for the champion, Francis Ngannou.
To me, I'm going out there to fight for the real belt. It's not interim champion, I believe it's the real belt. We are fighting in my city, so I'm all about the belt now, baby. Let's go. You will see the Black Beast come out of me.
Making his way to the Octagon heavyweight contender, Derek the Black Beast Lewis.
He has that break your face open type of power.
One shot from Derek Lewis can put you to sleep.
Oh! There it is! There it is!
He might be the biggest power puncher in MMA. He hits so hard.
Looking right! Lewis does it again with the knockout! He's got a dozen, tied for the most in UFC history.
This is the most important fight in my career. Becoming straight at him 100%. It's going to be new heavyweight champion of the UFC.
I think all of the fans in Houston waiting for a knockout from Derek Lewis. But instead, I'm going to give a good masterclass to Derek Lewis.
It's been hard to find a point of comparison for Ciryl Gane in the UFC's heavyweight division, given the way he moves.
Oh, and that was so fast. Such a big man, the speed of him. You rarely see a guy that moves so lightly on his feet and a guy who's so technical.
He's looking to the heel hook.
There's out! Wow!
This guy, whether that be heel hooks, takedown wrestling, or using his Muay Thai on the feet. Oh! Ciryl Gane flattens Junior Dos Santos. And that is it!
This guy really is the limit for this guy. Absolutely dominant.
My goal for this sport, put my name on the history of the UFC. Just want to be one of the best in this world.
He's well-rounded, and it looks pretty when he do it, you know. But I got that right hand. If I touch him one time, I know he's going to fold like a French fry. And I'm going to just lay him out with something.
I like this. I like the contact. I like this violence. I like that.
Can I take a big firework?
Let's go.
Well, there is no doubt who is leading the mixed martial arts movement in France at present. Enter Cyril Gane, 31 years of age, 9-0 as a mixed martial arts pro. He only transitioned to MMA training early in 2018. And Daniel Fernand Lopez deserves a lot of credit for helping Gane anticipate all of the things that he would experience in MMA. This man is a quick learner, and he has become one of the best heavyweights in MMA. Very expeditious.
Absolutely, John. And you know what? They knew that at some point, Cyril would be in this position, challenging for a championship. So they covered all their bases. But how about Texas? They heard Paul Wall. They started cheering, not knowing it wasn't Derek Lewis. Then here comes the Bluebird. But Cyril expected this. He knew that people were not going to be in his corner. But he understands and feels that he's a better all-around mixed martial artist. And he knows that this will carry him tonight in such a big fight in a big spot against a tough Derek Lewis.
Well, Gane has been saying, look, conditioning is the key in this fight. All I have to do is keep him in and out, keep him in kick range, make sure he can't hit me with his punches because he doesn't kick a lot, and then just wear him out and slowly he'll get tired and then I can pick him apart. I mean, it seems easy, but you still got to get to 25 minutes and dodge giant ham hocks thrown at your head. So good luck.
There's a definite humility that comes with this whole Cyril Gane package, but he did say to us on Thursday, you know, everybody in my gym started before me, and largely I passed a lot of these guys. A lot of recent 5-round main event experience for Cyril Gane, wins over Alexander Volkov and Jairzinho Rosenstrike. But this man's a 5-tool player. I mean, still a developing mixed martial arts athlete, but go watch some of the regional film. He is a willing grappler, a willing wrestler, has a lot of submissions in his arsenal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him take the fight down.
He's definitely going to be looking for takedowns, and that's what makes him so tricky in this matchup. Derek Lewis has had a bad history of people taking him down and holding him there, and that's the one way you can try to beat him. It's not easy to take him down, but if somebody can do it, it's going to be a Gane, mixing in his kicks, his striking, and all the different weapons and all the different stances. He gets you thinking about something else, and then he puts you on your butt.
All right, now the moment that these fans have been waiting for months. Derek Lewis is about to grace their presence. So here he is, the number 2 ranked UFC heavyweight contender and this division's most decorated knockout artist of all time. Derek Lewis, the Black Beast, 22nd UFC appearance, Tom, 8th UFC main event, 2nd title fight. And when you look for advantages, certainly people point to the power, but the experience has to be included in the conversation as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's got double the amount of fights that this man has got. Gane has about 20 fights. He's got about 33 fights, roughly. And, you know, when you look at the matchups, it's pretty crazy because Derek Lewis, you would think he doesn't have as much experience, but he makes it all up in that power and the durability and his size and his explosiveness. And at the same time, I think he's deceivingly good with his timing. You see the way he knocks people out. It's not easy to knock people out. When you can knock them out the way he does, he's able to figure out a way to load all the power in his body and his hips into one shot and land it accurately. Generally speaking, knockouts happen through an accumulation of punches, of 2, 3, 4 punches, or a beatdown. This man can do it with just one punch because he times you well, he gets your range well, and he can find you, and he's very accurate. So keep a lookout because he's got knockout power anywhere.
but not just experience, Sean. Championship level experience. There's something he's fighting for a title before. He didn't do it again. Derek Lewis has experienced that. Derek Lewis has the ultimate equalizer. He said, though, with all this, the pomp and circumstance, the ovation of the crowd, there comes an added pressure. And he has been feeling it all week. But as he got closer to the fight, he said it was kill time. And you can see that at the weigh-in, the press conference, and everything as the week went on.
Houston's own Derek Lewis. He said among the things at the forefront of his mind defensively, he cannot go backwards. He has to hold his ground. But in terms of popularity in these parts, this man really moves the needle. And tonight, they are going to go nuts if he can realize a UFC championship. Tonight's Tale of the Tape is sponsored by Sweet Girl, starring Jason Momoa and Isabella Merced, coming soon to Netflix. Derek Lewis is 36. Cyril Gane out of France is 31. Gane, the taller man by an inch. You see the weight discrepancy. Derek Lewis cuts down to the 266-pound limit. 265 for a title fight. 2-inch reach advantage with the betting favorite, Cyril Gane. Now to get you started for the main event, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Sanctioned by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. Chairman Rick Figueroa. Executive Director Brian Francis. Our three judges scoring this contest and up to the outside are Chris Lee, Sally Amato, and Douglas Crosby. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Dan Bergliata. This championship bout is sponsored and brought to you by Universal Pictures, Candyman, on August 27th. I dare you to say it, Candyman, in theaters August 27th. And now, for those in attendance and UFC fans watching around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Live from the sold-out Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. For the interim UFC Heavyweight Championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, an undefeated mixed martial artist, holding a perfect professional record, 9 wins, no losses. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 247 pounds. Fighting out of Paris, France, presenting the number 3 ranked heavyweight contender in the world, Cyril Magamaga! And now, introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a brawler, holding a professional record, 25 wins, 7 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 264 and 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Houston, Texas! Presenting the number 2 ranked UFC heavyweight contender in the world, Derek the Black Beast!
All right, gentlemen, we've been through the rules a lot. I want to be my command the whole time, make shows the whole time. You want to touch gloves, do it now. Good luck to both of you.
Oh man, live sports, UFC title fight, and the interim heavyweight championship. is on the line here in Derek Lewis's backyard. Cyril Gane trying to break through for France.
You ready, sir? Let's go.
And this championship main event is upon us. Tonight's Fight Clock is sponsored by Sweet Girl, starring Jason Momoa and Isabella Merced, coming soon to Netflix. Cyril Gane out of the Southpaw stands in blue. Derek Lewis, the Orthodox fighter, is in black.
I mean, these are two big dudes. And the moment they start to come together, it's basically one huge fall.
Nearly 17,000 strong, being heard from early in this one. Oh, Lewis goes high, slips. Gane greets him with a right hand.
Gane was calm, very calm.
Here already is a difference, right? Against Curtis Blades, the small octagon, Derek refused to go backwards and get pinned against the octagon because of the takedown. But with Gane, he's almost inviting him in to let him come close so he can try to let his punches go.
Lewis giving a southpaw look here to Gane, kicks the body. Gane more than willing to take his time, bide his time.
Gane likes to throw that hook to the knee and then set his foot down and follow with his hands right after he lands that knee attack. Gets you kind of thinking about the leg and then he follows it.
He's so fast, man. That is the issue that a lot of these guys are having problems with. He's such a great athlete, right? That he's in and out before they can return. These big, strong, hard-hitting heavyweights are having a difficult time catching up to him. Look at him poking at Derek Lewis right there, 3-4 different kicks, and then he just goes in and out before Derek can even load up his punch to go.
He's very light on his feet. Like he's jumping rope everywhere he goes. Just fluid.
And now you see Derek trying to go forward. And Derek's not to take some risk, right? He's not to take a few so that he can get one. Because ultimately, for Derek Lewis, it's about getting one off. And then you might knock him out.
Lewis has always been fairly measured, though, in round one in his career. A lot of second-round finishes.
But that's smart by Gane. The crowd might not like it. But very smart by Cyril, understanding that the danger was imminent there as Derek started to change level and load up that big right hand.
Just stay, keep range, keep poking at him like that. Make the big man try to find you, chase you. Just take your time if you're going. Just like he's doing. Beating at him, poking his legs, poking his belly. Stay on the outside. Because it's harder for Derek Lewis to get to that range where Gane is at.
Because Derek Lewis is not going to output him. He's going to try to land the big ones. He won't try to keep up with the output of Cyril. Here's the problem, right? You can get Derek Lewis tired. If Cyril's too patient, too calm, that power carries so far into the fight.
3 minutes have gone by. Derek Lewis has yet to land a strike, has only thrown 2. That body shot should get him a notch in that column. DC looking over to make sure those stingy statisticians gave him one. They did. Just kidding. Took us 13 fights to get a growing shot tonight.
Yeah, right? We've been good. We've been lucky.
Right on the button, as many of you know, Cyril Gane will have 5 minutes to recover here.
I know he's tall, but you either got to go lower or higher, right? I said, I know he's tall, but you got to either go lower or higher. You can't go straight to the ground like that, right, buddy? You okay? Huh? You ready? Time, you ready? Fighter's ready. Derek, you ready? Time and fight.
Back underway, coming up on 90 seconds, round 1.
Look how quickly he got that left leg up there, man.
It's fast. It's just double speed.
Derek needs to be close. Get into the clinch. Just start to let those hands go.
It's just ran because it's like crazy. Like you gotta dodge that.
He ran away. Yeah. And that's the exact defense he needed to employ.
here of Lewis.
Oh my goodness,
Beautiful jab. Derek Lewis didn't like that one. Brief dispute from Lewis.
They said they rolled any punches.
Until they die with a punch.
That was a nasty jab by Cyril. It did not look like a punch. Eye poke would be the one of them. Great punch by Cyril. A little bit of an eye poke by Derek Lewis, but that was a nasty jab by Cyril Gahn.
All right. So biggest thing is that we're backing up. We cannot back up with him. We've discussed this, and you know this, okay? So we're down one. We are lunging when we're punching, so we got to bring our feet with us. Stay outside the foot. Let's feint a little bit, level change, mess with his head. That right hand will land, but we got to stay outside that foot to do it. I got to have you pushing forward. Coach.
When you guys are careful, ce que tu as fait, tu as encore pratiqué comme tu viens de faire. Il ne faut pas tout respecter son bras. Tu me montres le bras gauche, tu montes juste le bras droit et on est bon. Tu montes le bras gauche et on est bon. Ok? Respecte pas trop son bras. Donne-lui du boulot, donne-lui du boulot, fais-le travailler. Ça va mieux donner ou pas? Let's go, guys. Let's go, coach.
That's all.
Yeah, both. Watch your fingers. Both. Watch your fingers, right?
So that eye poke still affecting Cyril Gahn, still trying to rub it out a little bit.
Second round, ready? Let's go, Phil.
And Bob Perez with some pointed advice in the corner of his longtime pupil, Derek Lewis. They even wanted to feint some level changes, Don, as well.
They want feints, level changes, and forward pressure. And clearly, Derek Lewis wants to, but as you can see, Gahn switching up. He doesn't want to just move forward for a reason. There's something he's seeing from Gahn that's throwing him off. It's probably speed, I would imagine.
And power like that.
That's
Gahn
lightning.
hitting hard, man. It's not like Cyril's just touching him. He's blasting him. And guess what else, right? The last time Derek Lewis saw a heavyweight like this, right? A guy that was supposed to have knockout power. It was Francis. And his power is what deterred Francis from letting his hands go. Cyril Gahn is showing no hesitation in his approach. So that itself may even cause Derek. He's not showing him that respect that Derek usually earns from his opponents. He's right in his face.
And for Cyril Gahn, plan A, it seems to be working out. And it gone by round 2.
4 rounds is a long time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fight left. One thing that Gahn is not doing to Lewis is putting a crazy pace, though. He's landing more, but the pace isn't super high to make Derek Lewis tired.
I think Derek got him again, and he's trying to extend his arms to evade. Might have poked him a little bit again. None of that's intentional.
Yeah, it looked like a swipe. We got to look at it in our isolation monitor.
But you're right, Cruz. It's not like he's putting a crazy high pace on Derek Lewis.
Not at all.
Derek was able to do this for 45 minutes.
Yep. So he's got a chance the whole fight if Gahn fights him this way, but he's fighting smart. And he's fighting smart.
And Derek will keep his power the whole time.
Yep.
If he's fighting at this pace.
But at this range for Gahn, the power's not as threatening.
Because he's leading every single thing, right? Every interaction is led by Cyril Gahn.
He's also not going for the same thing every time. Now there's a jumping out of nowhere. He's going to throw leg kicks, he's going to throw jabs, so he mixes it up well too.
This is not where you want to be, especially if your back's against the fence. Derek will start to let his hands go.
Gahn seems to have the strength advantage in these kind of situations.
Right? Like, I think also more technical, right? He has a better understanding of his clinch positions. Now he lands that big knee right there, and look at him just swinging those knees. Open the hip, drive the knee down into the thigh. Underhook, control the far side wrist. And head position. So by keeping the right side underhook, head on the opposite side, and controlling the wrist on the far side, he is now controlling both sides of Derek Lewis's body.
Under 2 minutes here to go in round 2. No denying that Derek Lewis has felt the pressure all week. A lot of us have not seen him of that disposition, Daniel. Hard to quantify if that has been a factor to the slow start because Lewis has been measured early in fights.
It's hard, right, John? Because I know how hard it was for me when I was fighting in Houston, and I live 3 hours away, dealing with family, trying to come to the fight. Derek is dealing with that just in town. So maybe as the fight goes, he'll work his way into letting himself go a little bit more. But as of right now, Cyril Gane is way ahead to start this fight.
Got nothing to lose when you're Cyril. You got a mark on your record, but you're undefeated and you're not in your hometown. Everybody expects you to lose because you're not the favorite.
So you're 9 fights into your career, right? You're only 9 fights in, right? You're fighting for the heavyweight championship of the world. This is a big situation for him, and very rarely do we have a guy that wins the title when he's finally getting into 10 fights. I can't remember anybody different than Cain Velasquez when he beat Brock. Might have had 10 fights.
Well, the big difference, DC too, is the amateur. He's got the amateur record. He's got the Muay Thai record. So he's actually got 22 fights. He does not have 10, and that's what's different. These guys that are coming in with 10 pro fights actually half the time have 10 amateur fights. They're actually 20-0. Whereas the early days, it was your record was your record. There was no amateur league, so everybody's better now.
Yeah, he's good.
Derek Lewis 2 for 17 on his significant striking attempts. On the other side, Cyril Gane has landed 62% of his significant strikes, near 70% overall. Lewis going back to the well with that switch kick, unable to land.
That footwork is what's throwing off everything because Derek Lewis needs to be able to set his feet to land, and Cyril's not letting.
It's his athleticism.
Footwork.
It's that athleticism is killing him, man. They're
All
not
recovery right now, breathe. Scoring. Look for him to start going to the head a little more in this round, I think. Every time you're fainting, he's scared to death. Every time you're fainting, he's fighting.
So Derek was after round 1, was unable to heed the advice of Bob Perez and Joe Murphy, whom they have called the missing piece, by the way, in terms of their grappling execution. But we'll see DC.
Wait.
Turned his foot out on that one. Now the right hand lands. The smartest thing about that is that Gane's taking out his lead leg. So what's the best way to take away a right hand? It's attack the right hand or attack the lead leg that you have to put your pressure on in order to land it. And that's what Gane's doing. So each time he eats those leg kicks, taking a little heat off that right hand. Just a little.
You see it, right? Bob Perez said every time you feint, he reacts. So throw a feint that lets your right hand go. But Derek's got to cut off Cyril. He's got. The crowd's just deflated to this point. They're ready to pop. They're all on the edge of their seat. But right now, Cyril Gane is not giving them an opportunity.
His accuracy, 36 and 38 on the leg strikes. Laid him with an elbow there, just missed.
And just watch him, you know, you see how well-rounded this guy is.
He's not uncomfortable to clinch. He's putting his hands in the right spots when he's in the clinch. He knows how to escape and stay safe so you're not getting punched. So, and then went for the finish after the leg was taken out.
Lewis went for a counter right, unable to land. Dan Murphy giving him a lot of chances to survive as Gane lands an uppercut.
But this is where Lewis will try to set him up. There it is. It's like
big knee from Cyril Gane. Lewis covers up. Wow, Dan Murphy interrupts the action to get Derek Lewis's mouthpiece.
And that one landed too. Air kick landed right on the chin.
The guys in the air try to get see that?
Oh, he's hurt.
Minutes going to Rocky Lewis.
This looks like a defeat. That's it. It's over.
That is it. The UFC champion, Cyril Gane, the interim UFC heavyweight champion. Total domination on the road tonight.
Big John. He's a problem, John. He's a problem for all.
This fight replay is brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872 as they attend to Derek Lewis. Francis Ngannou would appear to have a real challenge on his hands in the form of Bongama.
John, and so he's a real problem for Francis. Because if he can fight like this, right? Hey, if he doesn't let Francis get rolling downhill by popping him at the knee, by keeping him at range, dude's a real problem for Francis Ngannou. Outside kick, right? Because he makes you fight at range. He just beats you down, making you fight a technical fight. Heavyweights want to brawl. Derek Lewis wants to brawl. He never got a chance. Cyril Gane literally just outclassed him. Goes the jab, look at that uppercut. Left hook. Even going into the fire, whenever you know Derek's going to start to throw back, Cyril Gane went in there and just dominated Derek Lewis. Dude, this was impressive. He's a real problem.
The last time we saw a heavyweight with these kind of kickboxing skills was Rosenstrike. Guess who beat Rosenstrike?
Cyril Gane.
So here we are. This man is up there. He belongs here. He's proved it again. He took out Derek Lewis, which is no easy task in his hometown. This man's ready for a title. That's all there is to it.
What a performance from Cyril Gane. Thrill on one side, agony on the other. Of course, Derek Lewis just unable